And I never know when we're actually officially live, so I've got to go
It
on.
says we're live streamed now.
It says we're getting there. Yes, hopefully. Oh, and there we are. Okay, I got to get off of here or else it's going to bump me out. Happy Friday, everyone. Hang on. Woohoo. Thank you so much for joining us. So, this is another episode of Empowered Talks, and we have some technical difficulties. So, we're going to go like this. So, we're going to change a few people around. Lori is not feeling well, so Scott's going to open for us. And this time, we're going to discuss the importance of being an authentic leader. And just, I have a group of amazing authentic leaders on here. And yes, it is super important to be authentic. Like right now, me telling you that we have some technical issues, which this is what happens when you have a virtual summit. It just does. I've been doing this now for 2 years, once a month. Numerous things go wrong, and you just have to pivot. It's just the way it is, right, Scott?
Absolutely. Nothing so constant as change.
That's right. So we're here, we're live, we're on time. And I'm just going to introduce you to the most amazing Scott Schilling. He is so, wait till you hear him speak. I love listening to Scott speak. He is so calm and so informative without being boring. And he's exciting to listen to. And he always is full of some really great information. So I had the pleasure of meeting him at, we've talked about this, Connected Leaders Academy, who is the founder is Jose Escobar. He's been on practically every one of my summits already. The only reason he's not on some of them now is just his time. It's just he gets pulled in probably 12 different directions, if not more. So, because I have numerous businesses as well, I also understand that. So, with that, I'm going to hand over to you a very professional speaker, Scott Schilling. Take it away. If you want to tell us a little about yourself, Scott, that'd be great.
Thanks, Marianne. I appreciate it. And I appreciate the opportunity to be here with everybody. I've been very blessed in my career. I've done over 3,000 live events and basically shared the stage with every name you know. You may or may not know mine. That's okay. That wasn't my task at the time. My task was actually to earn the money so that we could pay all the names that you knew. So, uh, again, there are various parts of the speaking industry, but uh, some of the most amazing things, and today is all about authenticity in leadership and authentic relationships and everything like that. And some of the greatest things about those 3,000 events is I learned a long time ago that it is number one about the promoter. And the promoter in this case is Marianne and everything that she's doing to bring you quality speakers and quality messages and everything like that. The second is you, the audience. It's deliver a solid message that people can take action on immediately that will improve their life. And quite frankly, that's the best part of life. It's the best part of speaking and training for me is when I see the flash in somebody's eyes, all of a sudden you know something that you imparted lands and it lands in such a way that it's going to improve their life for the rest of their life. And that is my mission today is to share something like that with you. And then I'm third at best. See, I'm the guy who's delivering the message. But here's what I know. If I help enough people get what they want, I'll get what I want. I'll be okay. And so we work from a place as authentic leaders, a place of high intention and low attachment. High intention of imparting something great each and every time we have an interaction with somebody, and a low attachment as to what that means, quite frankly, either for them or for you. See, when we become attached to things, that's when challenges are created. But when we're free and we just simply have that high intention, Marianne asked, will you extend a little bit? We had a speaker that fell sick. Well, of course I would. I'll I've done this many, many times. And so if I can share a little bit extra that serves you a little bit more, how could that possibly be anything but a great thing? So, again, I appreciate the opportunity of being here. I would encourage you to take out a pad of paper, pen or pencil. There are going to be some writer downers. It's a very technical term for nuggets that you might want to save and work with. So we're gonna craft this presentation called Building Authentic Relationships. And I start with one of my mentors, quite frankly, the great Zig Ziglar. And Zig basically, I learned so many lessons from the man. If you've not read See You at the Top, I would encourage you get it and check it out. But Zig had so much wisdom. In fact, I was with his son, Tom Ziglar, 2 days ago. I went to hear the wisdom of Zig through Tom at an event live myself. You got to constantly be filling yourself. Well, Zig said, you cannot perform in a manner inconsistent with the way you see yourself. Just think that through for a second. You cannot perform in a manner inconsistent with the way you see yourself. I mean, if you believe you are an authentic leader because of the way people respond to you, you will be an authentic leader. And if you say, I'm missing some of those characteristics, then that's the way they'll see you. See, one of the reasons that I went to hear Tom speak the other day is because of a lesson I learned from his dad. In fact, the last lunch we were at together, we were sitting there and all of a sudden Zig pulled out 4 pens. And he said, Scott, you know why I got these 4 pens? And I said, no, Zig, why? He said, because a book could be fixing to get written. See, the fact is, you're always ready to take those notes. You're always ready to hear the nugget. I took, I don't know, 20 pages of notes the other day. And I'm a voracious note taker. I love grabbing those nuggets because just like the 19 mentors that I've written checks to across my career, I said the same thing to each one of them as I started with them. Give me everything you got, and my commitment is I won't keep it. I'll share it with my students. I'll share it with the people that I coach. See, that's my commitment to become an extension of those that I've learned from. Hopefully, you take that and run with it. Become the extension of those you learn from because now you provide value not only through them, but for them. As far as that goes, that's part of that authentic leadership. Well, let's take a look at authenticity in itself. Authenticity is the quality of being genuine, being real, being true to yourself without pretense. No need for exaggeration or trying to be what you think others want you to be. That's pretty key right there. It's the quality of being you. See, that's where authenticity is. You've got to be you. I've got to be me. You can't be me. I can't be you. You have to strive to be the best you can possibly be. If you work to be something different, quite frankly, than who you truly are, you're simply playing a role in someone else's story. Live your own story. Be the real you. You have to be whom you are out in the world. Because the other thing that happens, quite frankly, is if you're not consistent with who you are in the world, what tends to happen is you forget who you were with whom, right? All of a sudden, one group of friends, you're personality A, and another group of friends, your personality B, and another group of friends, your personality C. And if you're, you know, more diverse than that, how do you remember who you are with who? And what happens if those groups interchange? So now you've got some of the people you try to be A with mixed with some of the people you try to be B with, And now they're both confused because you're not who you are. It's so much easier. Just be the best you can possibly be. That's the way it is. I mean, you're awesome. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. You are absolutely awesome exactly as you are. There's no particular reason to try to modify that in any other way other than to become even more authentic, more consistently, and learn to love yourself. Learn to love who you are. I, I don't even think I shared this with Marianne, but I have won 100% of my audiences. Exactly never. It's never happened. But remember, I work from high intention, low attachment, high intention of imparting something great for everyone, a low attachment as to who that hits and lands with. See, if a presenter works so hard to be loved by all, they're actually probably not going to be liked by many because you can't do it. You have to be who you are, and the appropriate group will come to you. You have to be who you are authentically. So in personal or professional relationships, how do we make that happen? Well, how about speaking and acting in alignment with your true values and beliefs? My core values, and I state them on my website, I, I have put them in my books, I've written them in articles, whatever it might be, are faith, integrity, honesty, courage, stewardship. Those are my core values. So when I'm speaking and acting in alignment with my true values and beliefs, it's about that. I mean, as far as faith goes, as an example, I believe that I am meant to be the living example of my beliefs. I do not believe it is my job to convert you to my beliefs. Now, if you like my beliefs because of the actions you see, because I'm being authentic, I'd be glad to talk to you about them. But my God says it's his job to do the heavy lifting and conversion. For me, it's about being the living example. Well, that's what we do when we're authentic. We have to be honest and transparent, even when it's uncomfortable. Have you ever come across anything that's been uncomfortable in your personal life, your personal relationships, your business relationships? Let's see, I haven't had one. Oh, yeah, since yesterday. It was with a client that we didn't necessarily see eye to eye. And the client actually sent me something that said, "You leave me no choice but to take this action." Now, how do you think that felt when it came in? Especially when you're heart centered, when you're working to help people, you're doing things. Didn't feel great. And quite frankly, I could have responded in a lot of different ways. But my response was, actually, you have multiple choices. You can do this, or you can do this, or you can do this, or you can do this. Whichever one you choose is going to be the one you choose. You see, I didn't have to react in fear or lash out or in a way that ultimately wouldn't have served me later on, or him, quite frankly. And so the point is, isn't it amazing that the only choice that he shared with me ended up not being the choice he took? See, when we're authentic, when if there's been a faux pas, if there's been something that we need to be honest and transparent about, be honest and transparent about it. It's amazing what happens when you do that, right? And then let's keep going. How about showing your real personality rather than as opposed to wearing a mask? You gotta be you. Be you. See, there's this thing, this concept of be, do, have. Be who you are. Be the excellence that you've been put on the planet to be. Do the things that are in alignment with that excellence, and you will have the results you desire. Be, do, have. Don't wear a mask. Don't try to be somebody else. Don't try to confuse the situation. You are the most awesome you possible. It's really simple. But now put it into play. The next one, again, this is with your personal life or your professional relationships, is be okay with admitting mistakes and vulnerabilities instead of pretending you're perfect. How many of you have ever made a mistake? Did you try to? Was it you were working to make a mistake? Obviously not. Nobody does that. That's not the way it is. You didn't try to make a mistake. You didn't work to make the mistake. You made a mistake. Stuff happens. So own up to it fast. That's right. Own up to it. I'll give you another example. It happened yesterday. I had a client out of state, told my team that they were working to open up a division here in Texas. And so my team, as we build out for some services, charged them tax because that's the law here. Except he was out of state. And the law also states if they're out of state, you don't have to charge tax. Well, we charged him tax. He shouldn't have been charged tax. Pretty simple thing. And he said, dude, you charged me tax. I said, oh, wow, so sorry. Our bad, on us, not on you. We'll credit it. We'll return it. We'll refund it. We'll do whatever. Shouldn't have happened. That's on me. I told our team that you were doing work in our state, and they interpreted that as if you were based here. Created the issue on me totally. See, that's authenticity. I didn't want to make the mistake. Our team didn't want to make the mistake. Our customer didn't want the mistake. Nobody did. But that's what happens from time to time, right? So again, we have to understand that when we own it fast, you jump up and you help people understand, that it is about different things. So again, let's think this all through. Let's kind of wrap this up for a second. Authenticity is when your words, your actions, and your intentions match who you truly are, right? Your actions speak so loudly, I can't hear a word you're saying. One of my favorite quotes. Because people tell you a lot of things. What do they demonstrate? That's where the authenticity is. That's why in your personal relationships and your professional relationships, if you truly want to be authentic in everything you do, be you. Do an amazing thing. So let me share my BHAG. One of the reasons that I do events like this, other than Marianne being a great friend and totally awesome, for goodness sakes, but one of the reasons I do this is it allows me to share my mission and why I truly believe I'm on the planet. My mission, quite frankly, is multifaceted: to create a community of 1 million or more people, equipping them to maximize themselves personally, professionally, spiritually, and financially. To create enough influence to cause over $100 million in charitable giving, and to ultimately positively impact 1 billion or more lives on this planet. That's my BHAG, my big, hairy, audacious goal. And so, authentically, I share my mission. And the reason I share it is because I realize I'm pretty good, but I can't do that by myself. Are you kidding? But when we can come together, we can create those massive communities like Marianne has created here. And we can bring top of mind the concept that authentic people support good causes. And we can positively impact 1 billion or more lives on the planet. There's 8.5 billion people on the planet. In fact, I was doing a radio interview one day. It's kind of a little funny. Uh, I on the radio interview, I shared my mission statement, and the host, kind of very snippy, said, "Oh, 1 billion lives. Who do you think you are?" And I said, "Well, I just think I'm me." And the reality is, Zuckerberg touches 500 million people a day, probably more than that now. He, he's no better than I am. I was created in the image of God. So, I mean, he's no stronger. He's just like me. He just had an idea to do it. And I said, what if I don't positively impact 1 billion lives? What if I only touch 100 million? Would that be okay? Or, or what if I'm not very good at it? And I only touch 10 million lives. Would that be okay? Wait, don't answer yet. What if I'm actually bad at it? And I only positively impact 1 million lives? Would that be okay? And he said, "You're serious about this, aren't you?" I said, "Absolutely." See, the only thing I know is I want to be the first stone. And he said, "What the heck does that mean?" I want to be the first stone that starts the ripple of goodness. When you're skipping a stone on the water, you see all the ripples that come from it. Do you know how many ripples are going to be? No. Do you know how far they're going to go? No. Yeah, neither do I. But I know that if I'm the first stone, I can at least start the ripple. And once I'm that first stone, the ripple can be continued by others. So you see, when Marianne asked, "Scott, would you speak at my event?" Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Now, she didn't know I was going to share this, but that's okay because now she knows my mission and all of you know my mission. And if it resonates with you, come on board. And if it doesn't, God bless you. Then start your own. It's not about me. Never has been about me. It's been about the things that I've learned, the people I've met, and the things that I can accomplish because of those two things. And so, again, if we can help you in any way, that's why this is all going on in the first place. Because, again, it's not about me. It's not about doing this way. It's about that way, right? It's about being of service. Actually, it's about what's your why? Why are you listening to this in the first place? Well, there's basically 4 freedoms that everybody's out to secure. One or two, or quite frankly, maybe all 4. So again, it becomes the foundation for all this authenticity. Once you know what's your why, well, what are the 4 freedoms? The first is time freedom. What's time freedom? The ability to do what you want when you want to do it. Nothing is binding you when it comes to time, other than we all share the same 86,400 seconds in a day. That's the one thing that will never change. Time is time. In fact, we were on a call the other night. Somebody said, "Well, I need to manage my time better." I said, "That is absolutely false." And they were like shocked. "How could you say that?" Because you can't manage time. Time just moves. What you can manage is your priorities. So if one of your desires is to experience time freedom, it's not about the time. It's about the priorities and doing them in a lesser amount of time so you can be more successful. The next one is location freedom. That's being able to do what you want, where you want. Can you do it anywhere? Now, that's one of the wonderful things about Zoom and social media and the variety of platforms that exist today. The fact is, we now have the opportunity to be able to share messages, quite frankly, around the world. We didn't have that opportunity. Well, we did, but we'd have to get on an airplane. We'd have to fly somewhere. You'd have to have people gathered in a location, and then you'd have the opportunity to speak with them. But the reality is, none of that was possible practically in the fact. Now, this, do you realize that Marianne's shows like this event is distributed just in one place to audiences of over 6 million? So again, how many people do you have to serve? Well, why don't we think about what Mother Teresa said? If you can't feed 100, feed one. Because you never know who the one is that becomes the first stone that starts the ripple. See, a river reaches places its source never knows. Once the source starts providing water to become a river, that river goes wherever it goes. Now, how strong could it be? Well, water created the Grand Canyon, and that was some pretty strong water, right? What's the third freedom? Financial freedom. That's having the resources to be able to do what you want, when you want, where you want, because you have the resources to be able to do that. So one of my visions, one of my desires, quite frankly, is to have a floating office on a catamaran in the British Virgin Islands. Yep. Because with Skylink or Starlink, you now have satellite internet. You literally can be in the Sir Francis Drake Channel on a catamaran, have better internet connection than you have in many houses, quite frankly. You can write books, you can do your work, you could do coaching calls, you could do whatever. That's one of my visions, is to live and work on a catamaran. That takes finances to do that. It's the vision. We're shooting for it. And what's the fourth freedom? The fourth freedom is to be able to, I call it inner purpose, to accomplish your inner purpose, whatever that might be. Could be a spiritual freedom. It could be a heart freedom. You know, you want to strive for your heart. See, when you have all the time in the world because you've managed your priorities and you get to do it wherever you want to in the world, and you have the financial resources to accomplish it, your inner purpose becomes the thing. Your BHAG, mine being a community of 1 million or more, causing charitable giving, and positively impacting 1 billion or more lives on the planet. See, there's 8.5 billion people. That's only 1 out of 8. That's not great. Maybe I need to raise that number, right? See, that's what authenticity gets you, the opportunity to, in fact, do this in such a way that you have the ability to live your why, or your whys, as it could be. So where do we go from there? Well, when it comes to authentic, heart-centered relationships, the first thing you have to do is be authentic. Thank you, Captain Obvious. I would have never guessed that in order to have an authentic relationship, you had to be authentic. Yeah, you have to be you. I have to be me. You can't be me. I can't be you. I can't be Marianne. Marianne can't be me. Now, we can emulate each other. We can do things like that. But we have to be the authentic us. It's just the way it works. And then the next is you have to take the 14-inch journey. Do you know what the 14-inch journey is? From your head to your heart. See, being authentic, having these authentic relationships, working from a place of authentic leadership is not an intellectual or tactical process. It's a heartfelt, strategic, relational process. You have to feel it. You have to live it. You have to own it. And then you have to be on purpose. Remember, be, do, have? You have to be on purpose. Now, my life purpose statement is to inspire and empower others to serve humanity through living their life's purpose in spirit, love, and joy. That's my life purpose statement. So again, Marianne reaches out, says, hey, I've got this amazing group of people that we're going to talk about authentic leadership to. And she said, I'd really love you to share a message to these folks. Well, let me run it through my filter, my life purpose statement, to inspire and empower others. That's all of you. To live your life's purpose. Pretty sure that's why you would be here, to learn some of this, so that I can live my life's purpose. Man, when I get to teach, when I get to speak, when I get to share, man, am I on purpose. I'm buzzing right now. In spirit, closer to God than I've ever been. Love my wife, my family, my friends more than I ever have. And joy. This brings me joy. I'm in, Marianne. But see, that life purpose statement becomes the filter by which all things are determined when you're leading an authentic life. Somebody says, hey, we could knock off a bank and pick up a cool million this afternoon. You in? Well, let me run it past my life purpose statement to inspire and empower others to live their life's purpose. I don't think being a thief is anybody's life purpose. So that I can live my life purpose. Well, I might have some cash, but no. In spirit, no. I've learned I'm allergic to lightning. I'm not going to steal. Love. How would that be loving for me to take somebody else's hard-earned resources? Joy? Cash might make me happy. It's not going to bring me joy. Reject. See, being on purpose allows you to create a life filter through your life purpose statement so that you can filter the activities that you do. That's all part of being authentic. And then you express your passion. Do you think I'm passionate about what I do? Man, I love doing this. It is so awesome to be able to share messages for your consideration. Now, you'll accept some of it. You'll consider other parts of it. And you might just say, no, that's whacked out. I'm not going there at all. Well, cool. That's the way it works. So I can only ask for that out of this opportunity, is that you consider it. Now, as we put this all together, there's some key ingredients. And that first key ingredient is WIIFT. What is WIIFT? What's in it for them? It's not about you, not about me, not about Marianne. It's about those we're talking to, working with to create an authentic relationship. We have to walk a mile in their shoes. We have to, in fact, work to understand their situation. Now, I'm going to give you a caution here. The reality is, until we walk a mile in their shoes and until we live everything that they live, we cannot truly understand. But 100% of the time, one thing that we can do is appreciate somebody's situation. So my encouragement to you would be to appreciate people's situation. What's in it for them? You've got to come from another's orientation. That's where it starts. The second is people do business with those they know, like, and trust. People do life with those they know, like, and trust. People no longer hang out with those they no longer trust. It's pretty simple. So the fact is, in order to truly do authentic life with people, you have to create a trusting relationship. But trust is earned. It's hard to earn, but it's easily lost. It's just the way it works. So, in fact, first you have to get them to know you. Well, how do you get them to know you? You do something crazy. You smile at them, right? Whew, this person's smiling at me. Why are they smiling at me? See, your smile just created curiosity. It just got them to ask, why are you smiling at me? In fact, a number of years ago, I lived through a near-death experience, and my first outing, we went to the grocery store, and I was walking down an aisle, and a woman was coming the other way, and I smiled at her. And she said, "Why are you smiling at me?" I said, "Because I can." She goes, "That's weird." I said, "Maybe, but how did it make you feel?" She goes, "Well, it made me smile." Okay, something good happened then. And then I walked down the next aisle, and she said, another lady said, "You're smiling at me." And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Why?" And I said, "Because I can." And she said, "Thank you so much. You just brought some joy into my life." See, you have to get people to know you first. Many of you have never heard me before. I understand that. Well, now you have. See, this is the first part of you getting to know me. Now, the next part is getting to like me. Well, if I was just lecturing you and you need to do this, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't like me much. Not the way it works. Have some fun. Be likable. Joke around, have some fun, be somebody wants to be with. They first get to know you a little bit, then they get to like you a little bit. And then they start to go, wow, some of this content is really landing for me. Man, I trust the fact that this guy has worked with 19 mentors, some of the biggest names on the planet, and he paid attention. There's some things that I could probably learn and incorporate going forward. Man, that would serve me as I go forward. Cool. See, then we start to earn trust. Trust comes in drips. You lose it in buckets. The drips are hard. Don't have buckets come into play. Keep on investing in your relationships. That's why you have authentic relationships. People know who you are. Words, actions, deeds, very consistent. And then the third key ingredient is that understanding that people take action when they're ready, not when you're ready. It has nothing to do with you. Please hear my heart. They think you're awesome, and you are awesome, but it really is still all about them. They take action when they're ready. So think this through. To become a friend, they take action when they feel they can make that overture. To do business with you, they take that action when they feel they can do. Now, what makes them feel that? Trust. See, enough trust has been built so they can, in fact, now take that action. So, quite frankly, if they are ready to do whatever it is and they don't trust you, they're going to do whatever it is, but they're not going to do it with you because they don't trust you yet. And if they've built trust with you and you've built trust with them and they're not ready, they're not taking action with you or anybody else. But if they've built trust with you and they're not ready and you attempt to make them take action, you will now break that trust. And if you break that trust, getting it back is a whole lot harder the second time than it is earning it the first time. Don't do that. By definition, you have to have trust built ahead of when somebody's ready. That's the reason you are doing authentic leadership. See, your words, your actions, your deeds are consistent. People can see it consistently. See, they're watching from afar and they're not ready to take the action yet. But they watch your actions consistently and they go, man, Marianne is awesome. I just watch how she talks to people. I watch how she serves people. I watch how she does. I know she doesn't know me very well yet, but okay, I'm ready to learn more. See, that's how this works. And quite frankly, the know, like, and trust, I work to get to be respect, love, and think you hung the moon. I want to have think you hung the moon status with everybody I know. Now, I know my Canadian friends are going, do you know what that means up here, Scott? Yes, I know it's sticking your butt out a car window. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's think you hung the moon. I want you to think that you can come to me with anything for anything. See, the chances of you needing what I do when we first meet, maybe 5%. The chances of you needing to know something I know or someone I know is probably 95%. So therefore, I suggest you become an asset to everyone you meet. ASSET is a 5-letter acronym for a spontaneous servant every time. Become a spontaneous servant every time, the rest takes care of itself. In fact, a while back, I met a new friend and I ended our conversation, quite frankly, the way I end most conversations. Hey, if I can ever be of service to you in any way, please feel free to call on me. So we had separated. Now, this is a gentleman that's probably, well, geez, he's at least 10 years older than I am, right? And some of us more mature folks, that's code word for older. We all understand what that means at this point. Well, all of a sudden I get a call from him. He said, hey, Scott, it's Paul. Were you serious about that you wanted to be of service to me thing? And I said, absolutely, Paul. How can I be of service? He said, I need 4 tickets to Jewel. I said, Paul, you don't seem like a Jewel kind of guy. And he said, no, 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 it's not for me. It's for my daughter and my granddaughter. They love Jewel. I said, this is on a Monday, by the way. I said, is this the concert you're talking about at the American Airlines Center on Friday? He goes, yeah. He said, that's why I called you. I said, so you need 4 tickets to Jewel. Anything special? He goes, no, not really. Just something in the first 2 rows. I need 4 tickets in the first 2 rows. I said, well, I'm glad it's nothing special. So I said, isn't it wild? Over the weekend, I met a new ticket broker and I've heard the guy's really good. I said, hold on the phone. I'll get on another phone, call him. I said, hey, this is Scott. I heard you're the best ticket broker in town. This is weird. I know we don't know each other, but Pete suggested I give you a call, so I'm giving you a call. Um, any chance you got 4 tickets to Jewel for Friday night? He goes, I got them. I said, awesome. Hold on. I jumped on the phone. I said, Paul, he's got 4 tickets to Jewel. He said, in the first 2 rows. I said, I don't know. I forgot to ask. I said, hey, okay, I understand. I just met you and you got 4 tickets to Jewel, but I need them in the first 2 rows. He goes, not a problem. I got 4 tickets in the first row. I said, oh my God, hold on a second. I said, Paul, he's got 4 tickets in the first row. He said, how much are they? I said, I don't know. I forgot to ask. I said, how much are those tickets? And each one had a comma in it. I said, okay, hold on a second. And I told Paul, and he said, no problem. I said, dude, I got to get to know you better. And he said, will he take a check? I said, I don't know. I forgot to ask. And I said, okay, he wants the tickets. Will you take a check? He goes, sure. Where's his office? I said, I don't know. I forgot to ask. I said, Paul, where's your office? He told me a half hour later, they did the transaction. Now, let me ask you, as a professional trainer, speaker, coach, am I a ticket broker? In that case, I was. See, I became an asset. That's the authentic me, is becoming an asset to 2 people. Now, by the way, I didn't know what Paul did for a living. And remember I said I got to know him better? Well, I did. He was the CEO of a $3 billion company. He introduced me to the CEO of Ford, the CEO of Boeing, CEOs of many companies. Now, did I do that for that? Nope. I did it to be of service. The net result was that. See, high intention, low attachment. That's the way this works. And quite frankly, I want to get even past respect, love, and think you hung the moon status. You know what I really want? Is to be remembered for doing good work, for being authentic in my relationships, for being of service where I can be, for being consistent with my words, my actions, my deeds. That's what I really want. Because when we have these authentic relationships, multiple things happen. Our health is improved. Why? Well, because there's less stress. I'm not trying to wear a mask. I'm not trying to pretend to be something I'm not. I'm living out who I am authentically. What else happens? Well, we have better problem solving because we're authentic. We're not dodging when we make mistakes. We're vulnerable. We do the things that I said earlier. We own our junk, and we also share our genius. There's better conflict resolution. It's one of the things that's going on in the world right now. This diametrically opposed, I don't like you, well, I hate you, doesn't work. Just a clue, right? We have to authentically look at people's positions and do what we can do with respect, honor, and dignity to pull things back together. And then there are all the working environments. Wouldn't it be nice to authentically know everybody you work with? To have a much smoother working relationship along the way? Wouldn't that be cool? Absolutely. See, and the bottom line of all of it, when you pull it together, is we all have the opportunity to live a far more fulfilled life. Yep. Isn't that what it's all about? Is living fulfilled, whatever that means for you. It is not my job to suggest to you what you should live. It is your job to set out your own BHAG or your own goals or your own dreams and live them to the very best you can. And again, I honor you for being here today to accept this message. Critically think about it. Pull out the things that you like, discard the things you don't like, reach out, ask me questions afterwards for the things that I confused you with, quite frankly, right? See, when it comes down to these authentic relationships, there's a pretty good book that says, "My people perish because of lack of knowledge." Thank you for being here today, because you're here because my guess is you have zero desire to perish. And I'm right there with you. That we learn. That's why I went to see Tom Ziegler speak the other day. I still go to events. I take massive quantities of notes. I attend events like this. I will listen to other speakers as the day goes on. Why? Because when you're green, you're growing. When you're ripe, you're rotting. I have zero desire to rot. Now, I'm not 29 anymore, but I still got a lot of years that I can put positive impact into the planet. The next thought is simply love thy neighbor as thyself, the golden rule. And actually, you might want to think about the platinum rule. Love thy neighbor as they would like to be loved. Let's express heart-centered, heartfelt, true desire, being authentic with people. It was funny. I was in front of 25,000 in Reno one day. And at the end of the presentation, I said, I'll be down at this end, this bottom of the stage. And by the way, just want you all to know I'm a hugger. And all of a sudden, I had a line of people. I said, you want to ask a question? They said, nope, I just want a hug. Cool. That's awesome. There's nothing, very few things that are better. I was going to say there's nothing better, but there are very few things that are better than that. It was pretty dang cool. And in your relationships to one another, have the mindset of humility, service, and focus on others. See, that's what authentic relationships are about. Truly care. You know, nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. Maya Angelou. People don't remember what you did or said, but they do remember how you made them feel. See, I learned from the great Zig Ziglar. You can have everything in life you want when you help enough other people get what they want. It's positioning, it's servant leadership. Abraham Lincoln said, always bear in mind your own resolution to succeed is more important than any one thing. Henry Ford said, think you can, think you can't. You're right either way. If you believe that you can authentically grow your relationships, you can authentically grow your relationships. But if you think, oh, I don't know if I could put any of this into action, you're right either way. Now, my encouragement to you, I can tell you you can do it. How do I know that to be true? Because I made the decision to do it myself and I did it. And it's not about me. It's simply about the concept of making a decision. See, decision comes from the word decidere, to cut off. Cut off any other choice, but to have authentic relationships. You'll be absolutely amazed what happens. I know I've talked about Zig a fair amount, and I mean, he was one of many mentors of mine, but he impacted me so much. And remember that lunch I mentioned earlier? As we were concluding that lunch, we took some pictures and we did some stuff. We did a hostage exchange. I signed one of my books to him. He signed his last book to me. But then, as we were about to part for the final time, he leaned in and he said, Scott, can I share something with you? I said, absolutely, Zig. He said, if you're ever discouraged or lack the encouragement that you need, always remember, at least at one point, even Moses was a basket case. I said, Zig, you still got it. He said, I always will. So we have to understand that not everything goes perfectly in life, but we own up to it. We improve from it. We come to summits like Marianne has put on today, here today. You listen to concepts and thoughts, you evaluate them, and you incorporate them or reject them, whichever works best for you. It's been an honor to be here today. Thank you for the opportunity. If I can ever be of service to you in any way, reach out to me. I'm not hard to find. Scott@scottschilling.com. You could go to my crazy website at scottschilling.com. Like I say, I'm not that creative. scottschilling.com, scott@scottschilling.com. Marianne, thank you for this opportunity. Um, Hopefully, people got some great value here, and I'm honored that you asked me to be here today.
If they didn't get value, then I don't know. Listen to this again. It's going to be on Facebook for a bit. And then it goes up onto my YouTube and the rest of my awesome 6 million plus viewership. I did have a question because I went to go write it down. And by the time I flipped the page, all I got was high intention, low
Attachment.
attachment.
High
And I was like,
intention,
oh my
low
gosh, I love
attachment.
this.
High intention is the desire to impart something of value in each and every interaction. Low attachment is not being concerned about what that particular nugget might be for either you or for me.
That's
So
right.
it's putting out as much good as you can put out and trusting that it'll land exactly where it's supposed to land.
I love this. I love everything you said. I agree with absolutely everything. It's how I like to do life. You know, it's really easy being authentic when you're at home by yourself in your pajamas with just your dog and your cat or whatever you have or your family and nobody sees you. But can you do that when you're here? Can you do that online? Can you do that? You know, everyone's always asking me, like, oh, how many videos should I do? What should I say? And I'm like, you shouldn't do anything I do. You shouldn't do anything he does, she does, this. You should only do things that work for you.
Yep.
Figure it out, take some time. This seems to be so difficult, you know. Just recently, like maybe a year ago, or maybe 2 years ago, I heard that, and it kind of changed my world a little bit because I always thought the highest vibration in the world was love.
Mhm.
That's it. That's the highest vibration in the world. And that's it. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. And then about 2 years ago, I heard that authenticity actually has a higher vibe than love. And I'm like, how is that even possible? How can anything be higher than love? And then I thought, you know, we all love, you know, we're born loving our parents. We're born, you know, your family, your siblings, etc. And then it, you know, rolls over in from that. And I'm just like, wow, yeah, okay, I get it. Love's not that hard. I mean, it's hard for some people that have been wounded. It's obviously very difficult to love. But authenticity, and then I'm like, I don't get it. How come that's like, that should be like no big whoop? And then I noticed how difficult it actually really was for people to be authentic. And I'm like, wow, people are more scared of being authentic than they are of loving someone else. I'm just like, wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. And then I understood why it had the highest vibration. Because once you can let go and be yourself, then that's it. That's the best, right?
Yeah. And we're the only ones who really have I'm pretty sure my card does not say judge and jury, right? The only thing that I need to do is take care of me.
That's right.
If I can really uh, put out the best I possibly can and represent the core values, like I said earlier, that I live, it's awesome. So,
I love it. I love it. I love authenticity. I think you know, this is the second time this year that I'm having a summit called Authentic Leaders. I think one of them was Authentic Leaders, one of them is Authentic Leadership, just to shake it up a bit. But because I do so much, and I get requests to do leadership ones. The next one is going to be on wellness. And I've already done one this year called Aging Backwards, and it was a huge success. So the one in October is also going to be Aging Backwards. And I think those are my two big giant passions, is to help leaders, because it's the leaders that are going to do it, you know?
yeah, no
And
doubt.
you know, it's funny because everyone's like, oh, I feel so much pressure. This, you know, this is, why is everyone counting on me? Why am I, you know, why do I have to be the one? You know,
Yep,
when you're a
I
leader,
get it.
you're the chosen one and you've accepted. So now go ahead and lead. And, you know, go make some good space in this world. I love it. Thank you so much, Scott. I feel honored to have you here. You're awesome. I'm so happy we finally had the chance to get you on here, and I got to get you on to another one for sure. For sure, Scott is absolutely
Awesome.
amazing, and my next speaker is truly amazing. She is doing so many things, and she's overcome so much. I can hardly wait to hear what she's going to talk to us about authentic leaders. Maxine, welcome to. Oh my goodness, wait, how can I put you in here? Let me see if I can change this. Yeah, we had some funky stuff going on with virtual. Oh, well, this is exactly the way I wanted it. So I had the pleasure of spending last weekend, or at least some time, with Maxine as well, because she does a few different things and we have some similarities. We're both Kundalini yoga instructors. and with the same, I don't want to say the same company, with the same group, with the same community. And we were also at the same trade show. So I sell my line of supplements, which you'll hear about later, and Maxine sells a really great product. Hopefully she'll tell you a little about it. And it was actually so much fun because we don't get to spend this much time together. And then today, and then she's also going to be at another summit, not a summit, a wellness expo that I'm putting on Sunday. So for all my local people, come visit us Sunday at Quantum Workspace in Mississauga at 320 Matheson Boulevard West, Unit 212. It is a scalar clinic. So we are actually doing a wellness expo inside of a scalar clinic. In fact, Canada's largest scalar clinic with 48 units, for those who understand what scalar is. If you don't, then DM me and I'll explain it to you. Thank you so much. With that, I give you the most amazing Maxine Wilcox. Go for it, Maxine.
Good morning, Miss Marianne. Good morning, listeners. What a great day. What are you grateful for? Well, I'm grateful for stepping into your space because when I come into your space, Marianne, and just knowing you as a person, your values as a business entrepreneur, honestly, I feel like I have to step up my game, but more important than that, you create an environment for me to be who I am, to be authentic. So when I saw this, I thought, I hope she reaches out to me. And you did, and I thank you. And just to pick up on what your last speaker, Scott, said, um, we need more leaders. And people are afraid. And I'm going to tap into that. But before I do, I want to introduce who I am, what I do, and I encourage anyone, if this resonates with you, to reach out to me. So my name is Maxine, and as Marianne says, I'm a certified Kundalini yoga teacher. I also have a brand called Omax. We'll dive into that a little bit later about magnesium and why everyone needs magnesium in this crazy world where there's just so much going on. There's so much war. Our nervous system is overloaded in this information age where we don't get enough sleep, but we'll get back to that later. But right now, we're going to talk about leadership and how I got into becoming an authentic leader. And has anyone heard of a little town, oil town called Fort McMurray? I was in Fort McMurray, the oil sands in northern Alberta, and it was just go, 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 go. You were always working. I mean, if you worked 12-hour days, you were being lazy. Work, 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 but it's not sustainable. And when you're doing something that is not sustainable, guess what? It's not going to last. And very successful, made the money, but didn't have time. But when you develop and you build something that is not authentic, it will not last. And mine didn't last. Everything crumbled. And I found Kundalini yoga. And Kundalini yoga is the yoga of awaken and awareness. And through Kundalini yoga, I started to heal myself. I started to grow. So my question is there anybody out there right now that's going through a shift, a change? Yeah, yeah. We need to find something that at first can humble us because sometimes we believe that this is the way, but there's a higher power, a higher consciousness that if we allow it to guide us, it will lead us into our authentic self. But first, we have to be humble enough to surrender, to wipe away what you think it should look like, wipe away how long it should last. Basically, we have to surrender. And that's what I did. I surrender and I found Kundalini Yoga. And through Kundalini Yoga, I found my voice again. And it's an ongoing process. But I will say this, give yourself permission to be humbled, to be silenced, and to be still. And I think that is the biggest part of the healing journey. So, fast forward a few years into my Kundalini training. I realized that I was the lucky one because I know so many people in a similar situation that I was in, working, being in a relationship that is not serving your highest purpose. But having the courage to move out of that. And as I slowly and continuously continue to do the work, I realized that leadership is just having the courage to move forward into baby stages. You don't have to be the hero. You just have to be the one that continuously do the work. And when you do the work, people will notice. And when they notice, you just inspire someone to say, hey, you're doing this. What does it feel like? What does it look like? It doesn't have to be on a big stage. Help people, be kind to people, smile, look them in the eye when you talk to them. Because behind this, we don't know what's happening in people's mind. People could be going through issues in relationships with their spouse, with their kids, with their parents that are aging. We don't know. The scenarios are so different, but it's having the courage to be authentic in yourself, to speak the truth. You know, some days, I heard Marianne mention this over and over, that some days you just have to show up. Like life is happening right now outside my doors. My house is being painted. My furniture is a mess. My fridge broke down. And it's okay that like sometimes you just have to be in the space. You have to stop and go out for a nature walk. You pause, but you pick it up. You pause. Some days you might have to stop, but you pick it up again. So it's Alt, Delete, Reprogram. And I'm going to say it again. Alt, Delete, Reprogram what you think your life should look like, feel like, because more often than not, it is a sub-programming of what you see in a magazine, on TV, on social media. People living this glamorous, beautiful life. It is just a snapshot in their day-to-day life of what you see. So Alt, Delete, Reprogram of what you think that this life should look like, because there is no one size fits all. You are unique. You are one of a kind, and your life, your dreams, your destination is different from everyone else. So wherever you are right now, I want you to stop. Connect with your breath. Take a deep inhale and exhale. That is the quickest way to pause, to bring yourself into the present moment. Again, take a deep inhale, fill it up, bring it up, and now exhale. The truth of the matter is, you are divinely perfect. You are made to withstand whatever comes your way. And leadership, authentic leadership, comes in so many different formats. You've heard me say it's not one size that fits all. Maybe you are a great listener. Maybe you're a great baker, a great chef. Maybe you're good at organizing. There's so many skill sets that you have. Lead with what comes with you naturally. And how do you lead? Well, number one, you just do it yourself. Do it from a place of love. And if you can help people, if you can guide people, that is the easiest way. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's your neighbor, maybe it's somebody in your community. Start big, start with one person. But the most important thing is to start with yourself. And once you start with yourself and you're doing it and you're feeling it and it becomes second nature, trust me, you will attract. Your vibration will change and people will be attracted to you. So again, seated nice and tall, take a deep inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Your breath is your biggest ally. And your breath is the one thing that you can control by connecting to your breath. Keeping your posture nice and regal. That regal posture so that breath can come all the way up through the heart. The heart is the purification. And people get it mixed up. But I like to teach that courage comes from the heart. And the mind, when you bring that breath up through the mind and you get that crystal diamond-like vision, the heart and the mind, when they work together, you just become unstoppable. You become well, you fill in the blank. So we must connect with the breath. And that's why I'm going to bring in the topic of magnesium. And I know a lot of you have seen magnesium. Some of you take magnesium. Magnesium is the mother or the master mineral. It makes everything work better. I mentioned earlier how our nervous system is overwired, overloaded. We get so much information. And really in this age of Aquarium, where the Aquarian age is where information is readily available. But it's the discernment of how you choose to use that information. And magnesium can really help with that because magnesium makes everything in your body work in harmony. For example, vitamin D. You know, in the wintertime in Canada, we don't get as much sun as we need. And vitamin D helps us with that. But if you don't have enough magnesium, it doesn't boost that vitamin D. Now, we talked about taking magnesium orally. Omax magnesium is topical. And why is that a good thing? Well, you've probably heard this before, but the skin is the largest organ. So when you use the magnesium, it's recommended that you use it on the soles of your feet. That is the number one place to use it. Now, why the soles of your feet? Well, the nerve endings, right? The nerve endings are at the soles of your feet. So applying it to the soles of your feet is one of the quickest way you will get the benefits. How many people are addicted to coffee? Yeah, me too. I like my little bit of coffee because, you know, you got to produce in this world to get results, right? And coffee is one of the way to boost our energy, to get the mind stimulated. It does put a little bit of pressure on our nervous system. And then when we sit at our desk, because we don't move as often, right? The more that life becomes more technology advanced, we don't move as much. So we tend to get stiffness in our shoulders, our upper back, right? That's just a side effect of coffee. Or Maybe we need a glass of wine or a stiff drink or maybe a cigarette. Now, these are all coping mechanism on planet Earth, because planet Earth right now is pretty hard on our nervous system, right? So if those are some of the habits that you practice, then, oh, I'm so sorry, the jar just fell. Magnesium, you're probably depleted in magnesium. So with Omax, a little goes a long way. Apply that on the soles of your feet or wherever you have aches, cramps, or tension. And with the magnesium, you just apply a small amount. A little goes a long way. Arthritis, if you have pains in your knees, on your hands, on your shoulders, just rub it in. And within seconds, if you're not magnesium depleted, you will feel the benefits. Other benefits includes moisturizing, mango, shea, cocoa butter. I mean, I have pretty good skin. And look at the difference right away, the moisture, right? Now, if this magnesium does not speak to you, find a form of magnesium that works. Because if you're going to be a leader, you need a good night's rest. And when you sleep and you sleep well, trust me, the superhero in you comes out. There's nothing that you cannot conquer. Life comes at you and you can handle it. So magnesium is one of the ways that you can start to feel like yourself, that you can deal with life challenges, because in today's world, we need to be the hero, but the hero of our life, of our story, of our family. Start off there by taking control, take back control of who you are, who you were meant to be, and the talent that you bring into the world, because the world needs you. I'm going to borrow a chapter from Marianne. The world needs authenticity. You cannot buy it. You have to step into it. And a good night's sleep, a good night's rest will allow you the grace to be who you are and to serve and to love, because love is what the world needs more than ever today. People are suffering, people are in pain. And because there's so much suffering, sometimes we lash out. A lot of times we lash out because we don't know how to handle this. We see it, we're overloaded, we're stressed. Come back to who you are. Come back to your breath. Come back to love. Come back to compassion. But that takes courage. Baby steps. Baby steps. My name is Maxine. I teach Kundalini Yoga. I am a community leader, and I believe that community is one of the ways that we can come back as a unit. We're not meant to do this alone. We cannot do this alone. There's just too much. There's too much suffering. There's too much pain. We need our community. We need our brothers. We need our sisters. We need each other. Come back into your power. Now let's take one deep breath together. Come back, seated nice and tall, regal posture, feet firmly placed on the earth to ground yourself to the earth. The magnetic feel of the earth. You are supported, you are nurtured, you are loved. Seated nice and tall so that spine is elongated. That crown that you wear on your head is nice and tall. Take a deep inhale, filling up the belly. That breath must go through the heart. Up, 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 up. Exhale. And one more time, and this time as you inhale, bring up any worries, doubts, pressure that you have. Take a deep inhale, bring it up, and exhale, push it all out. Keep the eyes closed. Stay in here for a moment. And know that when you open your eyes, you will feel that joy, that love, that peace, that harmony that resides within you. Now slowly open your eyes. How do you feel? Do you feel calm? Do you feel relaxed? Yeah, that is who you are. You are peace, you are love, you are vibration. Sat Nam, Sat Nam.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Maxine. You know, even though I teach the meditation, it's so wonderful being a student, you know, not the teacher, not the leader, not the whatever. I love it. It's so beautiful. And everything Maxine does is amazing. I have more. I just don't know where I put them because I brought them all home from the trade show that we were at. And I've been using the spray the whole time. So really remarkable products. And if you're a local to me here in the GTA in Toronto, Maxine can be found on Sunday from 11 to 4 at the Quantum Workspace at my Empowered Together Wellness Expo, which we're bringing wellness to the world. How beautiful.
Yes, and I invite everyone to come out. If you need to enhance your self-care, maybe you have a business idea that you want to grow, or maybe you just want to be in a space that is nurtured and supported. Please come on out, grab a coffee, grab a girlfriend, grab your husband, come on out because it's a big, bad world that's out there. But there are spaces where you can be authentic, you can be true, you can be inspired. And I am looking forward, Marianne, it's always a joy to be in your space. You uplift me, and you're just a badass.
As are you, and you uplift me. And I just have to say, I enjoy having my crew there, like the people that I would be friends with outside of whatever workspace. And, you know, doing wellness expos, putting them on is not that easy. I'm not going to say it's not super crazy hard, but it is not the easiest thing I've ever done. And for sure, we don't do it for the money. Believe me.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
this is more from my heart, bringing wellness to the world, bringing all these really amazing things. And the fact that it's being held inside of a scalar clinic is just that much more amplified. So please come visit us, and you'll have the pleasure of hanging out with me and Maxine and, oh my gosh, like 8 other really amazing vendors. It's 10 is kind of where my goal was. I thought, oh, we might be able to squeeze in 12, but we're gonna do it with 10. I think we're gonna stop there. So thank you so much, Maxine. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. Have yourself a beautiful day. Namaste.
Take care. All right, enjoy. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. So that brings me to my next amazing speaker, who is Andy Berger. Oh my goodness, look how beautiful she is. Voices Against Trafficking. So Andy and I met in what I was talking about earlier, the same place where Scott Schilling and I met, Connected Leaders Academy. I will frequently mention Jose. If you all want to come join us, I'm happy to connect you to Jose. So Andy and I had a conversation, which is what we all generally do in the group, and found out that she has a non-for-profit for human and sex trafficking, which is what I want to do. So we were like, I was like, oh my gosh. And then I thought, okay, what can I do? What can I do to help support you? Mine's not ready yet anyways, but what can I do to support you? Because she's in the US. So we're going to have to do something. We're going to do some sort of crossover because I'm in Canada. She's in the US. This is a terrible, terrible, terrible thing that goes on in life. Like this bullshit has to stop. Like it's just ridiculous that this is what's happening with humans today. And the fact that it's here on North American territory is just unacceptable to me. So that's why I'm getting involved. That's why Andy's involved. And with that, I give you the most amazing Andy Berger, and I'm going to let her introduce herself to you, and I will mute myself. Andy, take it away, sweetheart.
Well, my goodness, that's quite the buildup. But thank you, Marianne. I appreciate it. Yes, I'm Andy Berger. I'm founder and chair of Voices Against Trafficking. And as she so well said, we are here to turn the tide against predators and in favor of victims of human trafficking. And, you know, authentic leadership, it applies to all businesses, whether you're mom and pop, Fortune 500, or a nonprofit. You know, in the nonprofit world, it works just a little bit differently, but same basic principles. And after 50 years in business, 20 of which have been in nonprofit, I learned a few things. But the most important thing was to figure out who I was in order to be a good leader. And that took some doing. I am myself a survivor of child sex trafficking for 17 years in the early 60s before, you know, there ever was a term. We didn't even talk about child abuse in any culture that I know of back then. So it was a tough road, but through the process of healing and counseling and moving forward by choice, because it's either move forward or don't. And a lot of times in leadership, we have to make that split decision. It's either go time or we're going to miss the opportunity, or we're going to lose the project, or maybe we're going to lose employees or volunteers. And so I had to find a way to build myself up. And in doing that, whether it was simply learning to look in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm okay. I'm not perfect. I may not be where I want to be, but for today, I'm okay. God made me okay. In fact, he made me better than okay, but right now I can only accept okay. And through the process of practicing the things that I then became proficient at to help teach others, I found that when you can inspire others to achieve their goals, as well as your goals, that's a win-win for everyone. But a lot of times in leadership, we have a plan, right? We have this plan and we're going to get it done and we're going to get everybody, you know, on deck, no matter if I have to pull them or tie them to the table. But that's not exactly the best way to go at it. So what I learned is that wanting more for them, you can't always want more success for them. They have to want that for themselves. But what you can do is create the ability for them to find that, kind of along the lines of how I had to learn. We can't make someone believe in themselves, but we can certainly encourage it. When we are servant-minded, servant-hearted, we want to serve the community that supports us. So if you're a for-profit business, that of course would be customers for whatever you're selling or whatever service you're offering. And a lot of times I have told companies, I used to teach business for college graduates who were in their 40s and kind of trying to redevelop their business skills. And one of the things I found is they lost their zest for learning. They lost their curiosity. They lost kind of that wonder of discovering who the people that were around them really were. And that doesn't mean you have a counseling session or a chat session, but it's not that hard to really say, hey, Jane, you know, how are things going today? Oh, Jane has 3 kids. Oh, great. Well, how are the kids doing? You know, do a little bit of personal connection and then say, well, guess what? We're going to do this amazing project today, and I'm so glad you're part of it. Or, hey, we're going to do this fundraiser, and would you be willing to be this very important part of whatever it is we're doing? And so I know a lot of it is interpersonal communication. And as our companies grow, we don't always have that opportunity to be personal, but we do have the opportunity to create what I call a personal culture. okay, where it's open, where it's available to talk to somebody in leadership, where it's available for them to get to see the head of the organization, whether you're a founder, an executive director, or the owner of a business. Being visible is one of the best ways to keep your teams connected. And one of the things through the business education program that our college had was getting the adults to know that, hey, learning can be fun. I use a lot of object lessons. I use a lot of humor because natural redheads are naturally crazy and funny. So I figure, why not share it with the rest of the world? And then we would get down to brass tacks. Hey, this is what we're going to focus on tonight. And we would have projects. I would make sure that there were some interactive projects, whether it was using Lego pieces at different tables, turning on music for 2 minutes and having everybody rotate, try to build something and see what would happen. The first team was like, oh yeah, we're going to build this. But guess what? When they had to rotate, oops, oh wait, now I got to work with something that somebody else created. What do I do with that? And then by the end of the exercise, people would realize it's not always so easy to look at something and say, well, you should have done it this way, or you should have done it that way. And also the creativity. Most humans are very creative by nature. And so one of the things I have try to do, especially with volunteers who are not employees. We do not have the right to command them to show up at a certain time. We do not have the right to expect them to not have issues in their lives. Okay, then they are volunteers, they are servants. And so in that population, always had food, always had snacks. Most people don't have time to have anything with their coffee because, they got to take the dog out. They have a partner they need to deal with. They have kids or, some other thing going on in their morning or their day. So I feed the nations just like loaves and fishes because everybody loves food. And in doing that, they have something tangible. The other thing is, hey, I am so glad you showed up. I am so happy you're here. And our team is happy you're here. And we would get together before we started a project or a fundraiser, and we would all give some input. Okay, so technically this is the plan that we're going to do today. Is everybody okay? I would get input from them right up front so that there weren't any surprises or somebody going rogue. When somebody goes rogue, it kind of disturbs the natural flow of what we're doing, but it's not always a bad thing either. So again, having that openness. And I used to be a little bit of a control freak. I know that's hard to understand, but I wanted everything in order because the life I came from was never in order. And I had to learn to give that up, that part of my nature, to control or to at least keep things in a little box. That was a tough thing for me to work through. And it probably took a couple of decades to do that proficiently, with a servant's heart, with love that was meant to be delivered in the process. Once that happened, though, it was amazing to see the progress and success of whatever projects I was working on. I also feel that one of the other key components of truly being authentic, and I know it's been mentioned before, is humility. Pride has no place when you have a team. If you have a team of people, your pride can be one of the things that will keep success or keep something from happening. And it will also irritate the team. It's okay to feel confident. Confident is great. We need confidence. We even need to be fearless at times in business for those, spot decisions, for transitions when people transition in and out of our organization, whether it's a nonprofit or not. And we also want to make sure that in that process, nobody gets lost or feels like they were cut out on purpose. And it sounds like a lot of things, but when you're humble, your team will usually follow that. Wow, they're not tooting their own horn. They give us credit for the projects we're involved in. I always try to give credit to the team first, or to the members or the volunteers first, because they're the ones that make my part of what I do in Voices Against Trafficking easier, better, more efficient. more impacting. We have done, as an all volunteer driven organization, amazing things because of that group of people. But I also respect them enough to make sure that I keep in touch. I do the best I can to make sure that they're edified, and that because they also have their own businesses and they also have commitments, that they know the time they give is like gold, and that they are that valued. You know, in a business setting where they are employees or they are managers, their frustrations and their needs, yes, they need to be aired, but in a culture that allows them to be human, as I say, they don't have to be perfect. They do have to do their jobs, and they do need the training, but in a culture that allows them to be human and to make those occasional errors in judgment or make those mistakes and still be valued is golden. A lot of times we fly off the handle as leaders, or we may say something a little abrupt, not meaning to, but it happens. And in that case, I have found I always need to make sure I'm the first one to say, you know what, I am really sorry if that felt abrupt or sounded abrupt. I didn't mean it that way. I was not being as thoughtful as I should have about how it was going to come across to you. And when people feel like you are humble enough and that you are able to admit a potential wrong or an actual wrong, that buys trust at a level you can't actually buy, if that makes sense. They want to know that you're just as human, but yet you're also the person that they can trust to take them to the next level. I've worked for the Disney Corporation. I've worked for the Hyatt Hotels and all kinds of big corporations. And I've also worked with a lot of mom and pop stores that didn't even understand customer service. And so from top to bottom, bottom to top, in between, almost every industry. And one of the things, or rather two things, that a study actually showed, I think it was USA Today, but could have been a different paper, was that any employee that you have, there are two things they want. They want to feel accepted, no judgment. They just want to feel accepted. And the second thing is they want to feel like they belong in the culture. It doesn't matter if they're different or they've come from a different culture. It's the culture that we provide and that we create that will make them feel safe enough to be the best that they can be. And, you know, we all have employees or volunteers that maybe need some special help or special skills. If we really want that person on our team, then it's up to us to find a way to provide that. I had a lot of volunteers who hadn't even finished their GEDs or their diplomas in high school. They were great people. They already had families. They felt like they could never get that. And so I would make sure with my husband that they had the same opportunities to get their high school diploma or GED, the same way that we were doing for our kids that we were rescuing off the streets. We wanted to make sure that they knew they could grow personally, work-wise with us. So when we do that and we show them that there is a way, no matter what age and stage you're at, even though it's not directly related to what they were volunteering for, it makes a big difference to them. I do believe in being loyal. I do believe in cultivating loyal, but we have to understand the strengths and the weaknesses of each and every member. Just like Marianne mentioned Jose. I mean, he knows every single person in Connected Leaders Academy and can probably spot strengths and weaknesses with no problem. Those of us who have been around business for a long time or nonprofits, we get that. Sometimes it's timing. Sometimes we don't have the time to do everything we want to do. But again, if we set up the culture to be open to it, people will talk to you. They will feel like, okay, she's safe to talk to, or he seems to understand that, you know, I have a supervisor that, you know, has too much coffee every day and is buzzing around and driving me nuts trying to, you know, pile on 8,000 things for me to do. I had a couple of managers like that in Disney, and I know what it's like to, you know, get squashed by people that are not really leaders. They're managers. So all they're thinking about is, bam, do this work for me, get this done. And that was the extent of the relationship at work. But one of the things that I did pick up from Disney, which I thought is very key, and if this is a good takeaway, especially for new folks in business or starting out, 3 C's: caring, concern, communication. At that time in the early 90s, I worked for the resort hotel, which was privately owned. It had not yet become part of the Disneyland Park in Anaheim, California. But at that time, caring, concern, and communication, you needed to care about the people that were spending a lot of money and a lot of time and had a lot of hopes coming to Disney. And we needed to care about, oh, is it a birthday? Is it an anniversary? Maybe Junior skinned his knee, running around the park or something. Whatever it was, we had to care first. We had to be concerned about other people around us, not just the customers, but our coworkers. We needed to be concerned about anything that would affect the experience that our guests had while at the resort. And no, we were not perfect. There were a lot of things that were said behind closed doors that would not be appropriate in front of closed doors. But anytime there was a guest around, anytime a customer is around, everything had to be perfect as possible in behavior. And then communication. We all know that communication is important, but how often do we take the time to reevaluate how we're communicating during the course of our business activities, whether we've been in business 6 months or 60 years? We need to always reevaluate our leadership, because I don't know about you, but I changed. I've had several transformations in my life. And I think that's a good thing, because we want to grow as people. And maybe we figure out things that we wanted to do before and we didn't get to it, and then we change. So expect the employees and the volunteers to change too. But I think at the end of the day, the most important thing is to be real yourself. And I think that I really do believe when people feel that you are being completely transparent and authentic in the business setting, you don't have to tell them your personal life story or be that transparent, but you do need to leave the baggage at the door, just like you expect them to. But being real in that culture that you've created. I apologize for my voice. I've been speaking a lot this week, but being real, I'm being real right now. and letting people know, hey, you know what? I'm just a little bit under, but I am so here. I was so excited to be here today. And I wanted to just share a little bit about the evolution of leadership in whatever your business entity is. And I did hear a little bit about the family unit. Yes, the family unit is a little business, whether it's 2 adults, it's adults with children, it's grandparents with children. Again, the more real, the more that they can trust you, the more opportunities you will have to have conversations that make a difference and that matter in the lives of the children, in the lives of that relationship, whatever that unit looks like. And so it's not that we have to be on all the time, but when we are trying to lead, when we are the leaders that I believe God has made us to be in whatever facet of life we're in, that we have higher help, we have higher wisdom, and implementing that is one of the best things that we can do as well. The people who receive that from us may not know where it came from or how it happens, but we do. And I do believe that in a lot of ways, God was my leader. God led me to do so many things I would never have done. I would have been too scared, too afraid. And there were times, many times actually during my life, where I'm like, what? You want me to what? I don't think I can do that. I think you have a lot more confidence in me, God, than I have in me. And that was probably true. But I knew that my Father God would never lead me to do something that was against my best interest or against the best interest of the people that I was connected with. Because in my life, He saved me from 17 years of human trafficking, and He allowed me the honor and the privilege to go help others, the voiceless victims of this horrific human epidemic. And in doing that, He brought others that were attracted to the mission and allowed me the honor of being able to help lead them into doing things that are educational, that are promotional, and that involve rescuing victims that we do on a regular basis around the world, and also to expand into other nations around the world. So Marianne may be in Canada, but I am her US sister in this project. And I am so, so grateful to spend this time with each of you, and also to know that if you haven't heard this today, you are awesome. You are valued. You are loved by Heavenly Father. And I am so honored to be with people that are servant leaders, that are trying to do better for the world in business and in all of the other areas of our life. After the 3 C's, I think the other thing I wanted to mention too is that no matter what you feel like as a leader, I'll give you a really quick example before closing out, but there are a lot of things that I'm not transparent about, and that partly is my health. I've had a lot of challenges, not just autoimmune issues, but at one point in 2008, or rather, I'm sorry, 2012, I had what they called celiac-induced liver failure. And I had a bunch of teenagers that we had rescued. My husband and I had housed over 16 of them, over the years. And suddenly I had no executive director at the time. And I'm thinking, how am I going to be able to do this? I don't know what to do. But then I realized all you have to do is one thing, just one thing today, Andy. If you do one thing that pushes your mission further, then you're going to get there, just like the tortoise and the hare. It may seem like it's taken forever, but you can do this. And honestly, it would take about half a day for me to get ready to go out and meet the general manager of a big box store or a local business. But when I did, instead of a 2-minute conversation, we would have 30, 40-minute conversations. And those businesses became partners with us locally here in Central Oregon. And that is how we ended up being able to rescue over 300 kids. And as I recovered and got better, obviously it went faster. But just that one thing, no matter what you feel like, get up, show up. And that's what leaders do. So thank you for your time. I'm so grateful. And Marianne, you're the bomb.
Angie, thank you so much, honey. Yes, we are definitely sisters across the border. As soon as I get going on this, I haven't even decided everything I want to do. I know that I want to help them in some manner. I have my really amazing supplements that deal with things like, anxiety and not being able to sleep and depression and all those, not to mention all kinds of not so great actual physical problems that tend to show up after so much trauma. And also I want to gather a bunch of my awesome coaching friends that love to coach people, in some manner, and donate their time and help them and help people through this. It's such a big, giant, important cause. So thank you for everything you do. Thank you so much for coming on here to speak to us. I know you have an insanely busy weekend with the event that you have to do. So thank you again so much for showing up here. I love you so much. Mwah.
Love you too. Mwah to everyone.
And I know you're speaking at a bunch of different events. I think, tomorrow you're speaking at another one, right? And then a live event, right?
Yes, another event, CLA, and then at next week is our big first inaugural Voices of Courage Awards. So we're excited for that, and we're just being blessed, and I'm so grateful to you too. So we are going to get that done because we do have connections in Canada, so we'll get it all rounded up.
Yeah, we'll end up hooking up somehow for sure. We just gotta figure this out, but it is amazing. So thank you again so much, and thank you also for taking time to come and speak to us in your crazy schedule, because I know you do so much. And again, one more time, thank you so much for everything you do. You and your whole team. Thank you. Have a great day, honey.
You too. Thank you.
Okay, so that is going to leave me with you for the next few minutes until our next speaker gets here. I believe it'll be Michelle Myrter. She is on another event. speaking, and we're going to be speaking to you about also, of course, the importance of being, let me just adjust this, authentic, like I'm being right now when I'm moving my computer right in the middle of everything. You know, sometimes it's really weird. I don't know where this background is coming from. Anyways, I like it. I like it with the red. It works out really well. So I kind of didn't want to change it. And I thought, oh, it might be nice to have something a little different, right? And sometimes you just have to go with whatever happens. Sometimes you have to go with the flow because certain things happen for a reason. This is very much in line with me, this background. So I totally love it. It's not my regular one, but I kind of like it for a change. So yes, so hugely important to stay authentic, to be and do life authentically. Like, it's so much easier to be you than for you to try to be someone else. Don't you agree? Like, there's so much work involved with trying to do something else or be someone else, or to, it's just, we shouldn't even have to. Like, it's so much easier. And I don't know about you, but I'm 63 now, and I can't remember things like I could. I'm like, my mind does pretty good. I do an awful lot of multitasking, and I run a bunch of different businesses, as most of you know, and I love it. But I just don't remember things as easily as I used to. And so it's a lot of work to sit there and try to remember what you lied about. So I'd rather just tell the truth. And I kind of feel like I'm walking through life lighter when I'm doing that, when I'm not carrying all this baggage, when I'm not carrying all these, different ridiculous idealisms of what I think I should be, when it's just so much easier to be who I am. And if you don't like me, you don't have to be around me. You don't have to listen to me. You don't have to talk to me. You don't have to do anything if you don't want to. But I'm going to be me, because authenticity is awesome. Look at Michelle.
What did I just walk into?
I know. I was talking. I had like about 5 minutes to myself, and I'm like, it's so much easier to just be yourself than trying to be someone else. That I don't know why you would even think you would need to be someone else, but for whatever reason, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. And I'm like, I can't remember lies anymore. Like, I used to, lie to my parents when I had to go out. Where were you? With a bunch of, whatever. Like, we went to a birthday party. We were here. We were all like clean and nice, and there was no drinking. Ever. I don't know what they were thinking was going on. I certainly wasn't going to tell them everything that was going on. So, and then it's just like, now it's just so much easier to just be, and it's lighter. There's nothing on my, like, when I'm, now I got to try to remember what I said, what I did. Now I got to, align with my lie. And I'm like, I don't want to. And I can't anymore remember everything. I can't remember everything I lied. I don't have my parents to lie to anymore. There's nothing, That's why I was saying, take it or leave it. Either you're going to deal with me who I am, or don't listen to me, or don't talk to me if you don't like me. Like, that's my theory. Just go away.
Oh my gosh.
It's okay, because I'm just going to be me, right? And the people that are meant to be with you will gravitate to you even more. And then you'll be in your tribe, with your tribe, and those are your people. And that's how you make yourself, I think that's how you make yourself more magnetic, right? Is just be you.
Let's talk about that. That's a perfect lead into B.A.N.K. Okay.
I know. I knew she was going to say that. That's why I said it.
I know. So let's look at that, right? Yes. Always be you, be your authentic self. And that's why B.A.N.K is so powerful, because you're not changing who you are, but you're speaking the language of the people around you, so that you can make a bigger impact, so you can connect with everyone around you, so you can see the world through different lenses. Just because people aren't like you, because their core values are different, doesn't mean they're wrong, doesn't mean you're wrong. It just is. You're just functioning from different value sets. You're just seeing the world through different lenses. So if I see the world through knowledge lenses, I'm not going to be all emotions. Emotions are going to shut me down. Okay. So if Marianne comes at me with a big old hug and some love, she might as well lick me because I'm going to totally be turned off. Right?
Okay, that's hilarious.
Knowledge don't do emotions. It clouds logic. I want the facts. I want you to be not emotional and all gooey on me. Give me the facts. I'll ask you lots of questions. I'm going to base it on science, research, logic, big picture. Okay? But Marianne, coming from love, I just want to give you a
These are
hug.
the only glasses I have. I don't have a whole set like Michelle does, so that's why I was just putting these
I'll
on.
give you some when you get here.
Yay.
Give you a big old hug too.
Big old hug anyways.
But when you have somebody who's coming at you who's colder,
She's talking about this one.
okay, it's just because that's the way they function normally. It doesn't make them wrong. It doesn't make the emotional person wrong because they want to hug everybody, but please don't. Some people don't like hugs. All right. So when you start to look at it, yeah, the nurturing, they want to hug everybody and they can't understand why people don't want to hug. What do you mean you don't want to hug? Oh, did you ever hear somebody say, oh, did you hear the tone they took with me? So mean. They're just mean. They didn't even get to know me.
I say that sometimes, but I have a strong nurturing too. So
you do, right? And then when you have your A's, right, they can run over the other 3 codes. They're going 100 miles an hour. They're like, come on, hurry up. I don't need to.
They don't mind hugs. They're okay with hugs most of the time.
High five. Give me a high five, a head bump, fist bump. Yeah. Ooh. Hey, what's up? Well, they're cool. They're too cool. I like this. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. They're walking around. They're the ones that are
me at 16 and this is me now. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what that says about me, but there you go.
Yeah, like I mean, that's how they see the world. We expect everybody to show up the same way. We got the blueprints. The blueprints are all about rules, structure, systems, planning. Again, they're a colder code. That doesn't make them wrong. Think of the world without rules. I mean, my actions would be causing chaos everywhere. But it'd be crazy.
I love the blue. It matches what you're wearing. She's talking about.
Well, it was cold, so I had to throw my hoodie on.
I love it. And I'm so glad you said you're going to get me some glasses because I have no place to get them and I've looked all over the place. So that's really great.
Yeah, I have some here for you. I will hook you up, my friend.
And I have some gifts for you too. So we're talking about November. If you are anywhere in Pennsylvania, we are working the Christmas show. What's the official name of it?
It's the Harmony Christmas Market. It's in Harmony Township.
Okay. She lives in a place called Harmony.
Harmony.
Other than me, who's jealous? Because I am. But
we've been looking for a house, and we can't like leave Harmony.
No,
we just wouldn't be right.
I want to have a house in Harmony. I'm not even from the U.S.
Wait till you see it. Oh my God, we're gonna have so much fun.
So much fun. I can't wait to meet Harley. That's her dog because I have a dog. If I could, I'd bring Lucky, but we have to work. So we're going to be working the Christmas show in Harmony, but we might also be putting on an event, like a half day, maybe, Michelle? What are you thinking? Yeah. Half day event. Go ahead.
Either sales or relationships. I'm not sure yet. It depends on what I'm feeling.
I just wanted to read some of the, in case y'all don't know, we're talking about bank code breakers. So the next time we have a free one, I'm going to post it on Facebook and y'all should come to the presentation because it's either going to be Michelle or it's going to be our fearless leader, Sherry Tree, who is an absolutely amazing speaker. But I do want to go through the 4 personalities just briefly. I mean, this is just what's on the cards. We could talk about these personalities for an entire 4, 5, 6 hours, but we're not going to because we don't have that much time. But we're going to talk about, let's talk about Blueprint, the one that I'm the least. Okay. I am so the least of this one that I frequently, somehow unconsciously, will write as my bank code instead of ANKB. I will literally write ANKA for some very strange reason.
It's like kryptonite to you. You just keep checking it.
It's subconscious, but I really do try to be a little bit more Blueprint than I really am. But there are definitely things I can associate with. So here's some of the values that I'm going to read off for Blueprint. Stability. I like stability. Structure. Okay. Systems. Systems are important to have for other people. Planning. It's important to plan. I don't know that I can do that many events and things. I mean, this event calls me to do some planning, everything, and processes. You definitely need some. I'm obviously kidding. I need some systems too. Predictability. You know what? If everything in the world was predictable, I'd be bored. But we definitely need some predictability when we're putting on an event. This many people are going to show up. This is my budget to put the event together. Like, there's got to be some. Okay, responsibility. I'm really good, actually, at taking responsibility for myself, my actions, etc. I like that. Duty. Rules.
Beauty, like the word duty.
Rules. I'm just gonna, rules. I don't know if I need to, rules are meant to be broken in my world, but in somebody else's world, they like to follow the rules. These people like to follow rules. I respect that. I won't do it, but I do respect it. Credentials, very important. Oh, I should have put my credentials up there. My DR, my Reverend Dr. Marianne, gets used with Blueprints a lot. They love it. Titles, oh gosh, they love titles and awards. I have lots of awards, so I'm grateful for all that. And tradition. So I think tradition is great. We have a tradition for Christmas, for various, there's a place for sure for tradition, but I also think and believe and feel that things need to be shifted and changed and tried and new. So now I'm going to read you the opposite. The opposite would be this color, which is what I'm wearing. Red. Oh my goodness. So completely 100% the opposite of blue. Here we go. What are their values? Freedom. Okay. Freedom is so important to me that I have worked when I worked in retail in Canada. I worked in a store called Freedom. That was not mine, but I worked for the company. And when I was living in Croatia, in Europe, I actually opened up my own store, clothing, and it was called Freedom.
Oh my gosh. So there's a little town not far from here called Freedom. Maybe I should move there.
No, I should move there. You should stay in Harmony and we'll visit each other frequently. And that way we get the best of both worlds. I can't talk. So flexibility, hugely important. I can't tell you how, I love flexibility. I love it. Spontaneity, please, let's use some. Let's just be, action. Yeah, I don't want to sit there and talk about it. I don't want to sit there and research it to death. I don't want to research it. I don't want to ask the questions. I just want to implement some action so we can get going on this and we can see results. Quick, let's go. It's an opportunity. Excitement. Attention. I like attention. Stimulation. Oh my gosh.
Attention also stands for lack of attention. So we can be very ADHD, ADD. We can get distracted very easily.
We usually are.
That with little attention span. So keep that in mind.
Hardly any. Very short for me, for sure. Stimulation, competition. We love it. We love a good, healthy competition. Winning. Okay. I like winning. Do you?
Absolutely.
Okay, who doesn't? So yeah, fun. Okay, fun is absolutely my word. My word. When someone says, "Oh, I'm going here. I'm going to this," have fun. Have fun. Have fun. It just seems to be. You know what? If it's not fun, I probably won't do it. And if I do, it's
So,
be for long.
has anybody ever like presented this something to you and you were like in your mind thinking, well, that doesn't sound fun at all?
All the time. Well, I wanted to show you how to do some admit of what I'm sorry. I have a really full schedule. And I do have a full schedule anyways, but this is where it comes in handy. Anything to do with any kind of admin or the use. And I know that there's a place for them and I have had to use them, believe it or not, in the past, but the use of an Excel spreadsheet gives me the hives.
John asked me last night, he's like, did you make that spreadsheet? And I was like,
make it. I don't even know how to use it, let alone make it. And image is important because, we're the cool people. We're the cool kids. And that's just the way it is.
from head to toe, it's all for show. I just realized as I look in the corner of my thing on my couch, I'm like, wow, guess that's locking blueprint right there.
But if you're in sales, this is your favorite client. You know why? Because this one is not going to take up as much of your time. They're going to act quick and they're going to probably pay you what you asked for. They're probably not going to do a huge amount of negotiation. If they do a little bit, of course.
Well, they are great negotiators and they do buy first.
They do first buy. These guys do not buy first, but they'll buy. They'll buy.
They buy third.
They buy third. They'll buy it. It'll be good. It's got to be a good reason. They'll buy the Mercedes because it's a good car. This guy will buy it because it's a Mercedes. Do we need more of an explanation? This one will buy it because the engine is good, because it was,
safety ratings.
There's
durability,
all the everything good. This one will buy the van because that one will fit in most of the people. Their entire community will fit into the van. The whole family will go in there. And these guys are more Tesla buyers, right? Like they might buy a Mercedes.
Tesla actually speaks to all four codes.
There you go.
Yes, they look for the state of the art. They've done all their research.
Excellent.
They know what they want before they get there.
See? So there's your buying habits. So it's important. Like that information is very important. So I'm just going to give you the values of our nurturers. So relationships are super important. They're super important to me. They're probably the most valuable thing I have, I think. Authenticity. What's the name of this? What's the name of this summit? Right. Personal growth. If I tell you how much time and money out of my 63 years, I probably started at age 19. Actually, I started at age 15 with various books and CDs, but I actually at 19 started going to various events in person. So back then we had to go to events in person. You had to fly into the country. You had to pay for the hotel, pay for the flight, pay for the course, and then you had to be there. And it was good. It was good. Virtual is great. Absolutely, you can do so much more. But I'm just saying that's what we did. So I spent a lot of time and money on personal growth. I value that hugely. Significance. Tony Robbins talks about significance all the time. Very important. Teamwork. I want my whole team to prosper. I want all of us to do it. I want all of us to do well. I want to, I don't need to be the leader. I just want everyone to do really well. It's true. And involvement. Well, I just finished 5. Okay. I run 6 businesses. I'm working on a new venture, and I managed to volunteer for 5 days at a local golf course. Yeah. For 6 hours every day. That's all I'm going to say. Community is hugely important. Charity, which I'm opening. We just discussed that with the speaker before this, that I'm opening up a nonprofit for sex and human trafficking. Ethics, hugely ethical, huge, 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 more than money. Harmony, harmony. Who lives in a place called harmony? Morality, very important. I will do business with you, but if I find that you have no morality, we're done. And contribution. It is always important to me to give. So, ban people. Let's talk to why they buy a Mercedes. Why, Michelle?
The nurturing?
No, not these. No, not
Oh, the knowledge?
Mhm.
They like even if you look at like Lamborghinis, Ferraris, like the state of the art, technology, the sleek design, they're super fast, like a KA, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're buying cars because
Mm-hmm.
of the technology behind it, and yeah,
And the fact that it's a good value. So they're up there with the blueprint, a little bit different, but they do a lot of research. So I have a friend who is hardcore this. In fact, I have quite a few people that I work with that are hardcore this, and they like to research things. So learning, big surprise. That's the first one. Intelligence, they're highly intelligent people. They're a very, very logical. Spock, right? From Star Trek, right?
Mhm.
Is that right? Yes. Self mastery. See, this is where I fall in line with this. Technology, not really my thing, but hey, it's good. They're very good at technology. These are your IT people right here. Research and development. What did I just say about research? I have a friend who researches everything. She needs to know the science, which is another thing that's important to them. Universal truths. Oh my goodness. There you go. Expertise. He's the expert. She's the expert in this field. Competence. You better be competent at what you're doing, or they're not going to be doing it with you. Accuracy. Okay. This is the person when you say, I have 10 million people following me, I have 10 million things to do today. Okay, well, it's really not 10 million, is it? No, but it's maybe 27 things I have to do. Okay, well then say 27, not 10 million. That's this friend. And the big picture, that I'm definitely a big picture person. So I do have some traits in here. We have traits in everything. It's just this one. This is my Excel spreadsheet, people. So I feel like I have the least amount of traits with these guys because I'm not as organized. They should put organization here because these people are super organized. And, they love working from home. They love all that, right? Like and they're not necessarily hardcore introverts, but they love that.
Well, blueprints actually like the traditional business, like going to the office. They creatures of habit, right? They don't like change.
Mhm.
So, what I went down in the basement to do a workout, and John was away, and so the light switches were reversed because I must have turned the light switch. I don't know, whatever I did. So when I went down today, he was like, "Oh, did you come down to work out yesterday?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" He goes, "The light switches were reversed." I was wondering what happened. And I was like, I really would never have known that. Like I wouldn't have paid attention to something like that. He was like, creature of habit. I noticed those. He notices the details. I wouldn't notice at all that the light switches were reversed.
Me and my friend were doing real estate together, and I said, I'm going to do all the showings and the open houses. And she goes, oh, I'm going to stay at home and I'm going to do all the paperwork. And I'm like, I love that. We're perfect together.
Yeah, absolutely.
She loved working from home. She created
awesome.
a little office. She needed the office with the door.
Yeah.
With the door to the little room. It was full of all kinds of stuff, but it was neat. It was organized. Mine, not as organized. Open space, no door. no classical office.
Well, I had mine downstairs. There was no door. It was just an open space. then I moved up here because Harley would freak out when people would walk past. And so the barking got, well, I think it was more of she literally hit the switch on my chair, and I was on Zoom, and I was like, "Wee."
I love that. I love that. Go Harley. Woo. You gotta love it.
At one point I had a green screen behind me. Again, I'm on Zoom. And that's when we had Lulu too. And Lulu and Harley were like going at it behind the screen, and then it all fell down on top of me.
Remember green screens when we had to use the green screens? And I
Yeah.
had one and I gave mine away, and I don't even know if she uses it or not, but it was so funny. I was like, yeah, I'm so happy not to have to pull that thing out every time. That was
Well,
a
when I had sent a present to my friend through Amazon, and so when I ordered my green screen, I didn't pay attention to the details. So it actually got sent to Florida, and they weren't there. So someone else had to come to the house and get it and try to return it to, it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. Pay attention to those ship to addresses.
That's just funny. So both Michelle and I are obviously ANKB, and the A in us is just, it drives people crazy. You know, I'm for the first time ever, I'm doing an event. I'm putting together my wellness expo, and I'm learning a lot of things that I need to write down. I need to write them down and email it off to people. And I didn't do that this time because I figure everyone's like me. They want to talk about it. So I verbalize everything to them. But people have asked me the same question like 3-4 times. And you know, it's not their fault. It's just, I'm just saying, you know, that they're not going to remember it. So you know, because I know that I sometimes get very visual, and that it's easier for me if I see something, I'll remember it because I've seen it as opposed to just heard it. So I'm like, okay, I definitely need to write an email next time to people to say, this is what I'm doing. This is what you need to get ready for. This is what time, because it's like constant. And it's like, oh yeah, what did you say we're doing here? What did you say again here? Like, okay. So I like the freestyle because if you tell me, I'm probably going to write it down for myself, and I'm probably going to remember it. And I'm not going to bother you because I know what it's like to put events together. But, but yeah, I definitely can see that not everybody knows that.
Yes.
Not everybody knows that. So it's been educational, and it's been fun. And it's, you know, it's important. It's important to get the emails. It's important to do that, especially if you do bigger ones. Like I'm not doing a very big event. It's small in consideration to what others are like. But yeah.
Well, think about it, right? We're all 4 codes. So if you bankify and make that all speak to all 4 codes, where you have the agenda, you have the information, you have the fun, and do it with love, like you all already hit all 4 codes.
And so helpful. Like this is just, you know, I've had an interesting week. I think the eclipses and the energy and the planetary.
Yeah. What is going on?
There's a bunch of eclipses and new moons and things happening, and it's making everyone a little extra jittery. And so there's been a lot of, oh, and I can't stand what he's doing and she's doing. And I'm like, you don't have to listen to them. It's like what I said. If you really are bothered by me and you don't want to figure out a way to help understand me, because I think this eliminates half of that, because you and I,
it eliminates all of it, because it's not personal, it's personality.
We understand people. We understand that you're going to require a little more organization than I am, and that you're going to research everything. I already know you're going to research it. So I'm not worried about selling you this instant. And I know that you're more concerned about the community. Is everyone going to benefit from this? Because everyone in the family has to benefit from it, right? And then I know you're going to buy quick, and you want it quick, and you don't want the long version. You want the short version of everything. I know you want the long version. I know you want the extra long version of everything. You know?
Well, right. So when we look at it, Marianne, it's just like when people speak a different language, right? If I came on here and spoke Spanish the entire interview, Who's going to understand me other than Spanish speaking people? So if I come and speak action all day, every day, and I just go on and do my thing, right? The other three people are left out. So when you can blend it and speak to all four of them, you make a bigger impact. Remember, we're made up of all four. Every single human's made up of all four. There's actually 24 different combinations, which is why in sales, you got a 1 in 24 shot of getting a yes, opposed to, you know, getting a no. That's why they call it, they say sales is a numbers game. Mathematically, it is, unless you can crack the code. And when you crack the code, that's when you get more yeses, when you have more impact, when you can speak the language of the people around you so that people can stop judging and they can start loving more. So the world does become a better place. Because honestly, we can all do better as humans. And if you can start understanding people and increase your emotional intelligence, have the self-awareness of how you're showing up, that's the first step. And then start looking at the world through other people's lenses. That's going to help you judge less and love more. That's all I got for today, Marianne.
That's perfect. That's exactly what we need. And you know what? Once you do have a little exposure to, not a little, but exposure to this, and you understand other people, you don't sit there and go, why did he do that? Why did she say that to me? Why? Because that's what they do. That's how they speak.
Oh, right. It's just like you have a Mac and you have your PC, right? When you put the information in, it has to be different information. It's just like with
if you want to be respected for who you are, then you need to respect others for who they are. That's the authentic thing to do, right?
What's emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is first self-awareness of how do you see the world, right? And now how do you take your lens off and see the world through the person across from you without judgment? Like, it's understanding.
I'm just going to put the ones I have.
You're just feeling all love today. I'm like, all right.
Because you have all the colors.
I'm kind of like this today. Wait, is that green and red? Do I have green and red? Yeah. Right. All right, that's kind of how I'm feeling today. Maybe the K is a little high. I don't know. Something's a little off. Maybe it's the universe. Who knows? But that's how.
See, and I don't have the red ones, but this authentic leadership is more red, whereas the next one in October is going to be more this yellow because it's aging backwards, right? So it's more in the wellness.
Yeah. And if you want to be a stronger leader, a better leader, you got to understand how you're showing up. What language are you speaking? And what are the people around you? What code are they? If you understand who they are, what's important to them, their core values, now you're able to be the best leader you can be and make everyone feel seen, heard, and understood. Make a bigger impact. Everybody's voice gets heard. Like on a soapbox today, Marianne. What the heck?
It's all good. This is exactly what this is about. Is I feel like I've been coaching people all week long because it's just been that kind of an energy. And I'm like, if you all just understood each individual person, and it's not just about you, it's about all of us. And yes, all of us have all of them. And how much of which do you have? And this is where the person's coming from. And if you are, especially if you're friends with the person or if you do business with them longer, you will discover that this is the way it is probably every time.
Oh, absolutely. Every single human has code. This is the key, literally the key. Imagine what the world would look like if you could truly understand the other people around you and why they do the things they do. Do you think that just maybe there's one idea that could change the world, and it could be this simple? Look at the back. Make people matter. Make people matter. How can you go out there and make people matter today? Start seeing the world through their lens. You want to help more people? Then make it about them. Show up in a way where you want to know how they see the world. What information do they need? And then give them that, because we show up in default thinking everyone is just like us because we all speak the same language. We all speak English. And that's so not true. Just because I'm speaking English, if I'm not speaking in the rainbow or I'm not speaking to the person in front of me, I'm losing. Every single person, no matter what industry they're in, whether they're a stay-at-home parent, deal with people. And when you take the time to truly understand them, then you have less conflict, less aggravation, less frustration, increased sales. Your life becomes easier. So what if one idea could change the world?
It sure can. Thank you so much, Michelle. I know you have to go on to your next speaking gig. This is what happens with all these amazing speakers I have on here is they're so amazing, but they're super booked. Like crazy booked all the time.
Robert.
Thank you so much, Michelle. As always, it's always such a pleasure. And I get to work with Michelle, and I'm super excited. And stay tuned on my Facebook page. And if you know Michelle, it'll be on Michelle's Facebook page as well. We're going to post the next masterclass. Do we have a date for it yet? Do you know?
It should be in 2 weeks. I'll double check it. I'll let you know. But you can give your audience the free crack your code. Figure out who you are.
That's right. Just DM me and I'll give it to you for free. Free. And you get to find out about yourself. And what's more exciting than finding out things about yourself more? Michelle, thank you so much. Have a great
love you.
rest of your day.
Bye.
And with that, I bring you another amazing speaker. Oops, no, I meant to do this. Another amazing speaker, one of my favorite coaches, Robert J. Moore. I think there's not a whole lot here for me to say other than the great Robert J. Moore will now speak.
That's good. Never had an introduction like that before.
I know, right? Here you go. Take it away, Robert.
I'm a little worn out today, but I'm good. I'm here. I'm stiff on a board. I had to restructure my office and do some stuff outside, plus work at the same time. So I'm Robert J. Moore. Those who don't know me, authenticity is something I live by. And what do I mean by that is because I got a past that a lot of people think they can't use their past to upgrade their future. And they can. Everybody has a story. Everybody became a leader in their own way, in their own right. And how I did mine was I was an alcoholic drug addict living on the streets. Well, a young fella. I was working for the wrong type of people, kicking in doors, and did 17 years in the prison and 7 years on the streets. But you know what? I'm not ashamed of that. What I'm ashamed of is not telling people sooner about it, because you know how many people look at me and sit there and say, "Oh, you wouldn't understand. You wouldn't understand." They don't know what the person knows unless they ask. Like when I was first started working with Marianne, I didn't know she was in a war. I didn't know that until she told me. When she started hearing my story come out, that's when she felt open enough to say, "Hey, listen, this is what I've been through, and I know it's okay to say it now. It's all right to tell people this." And it helped bring her up, because you're using authenticity to bring people to that level. Giving people the chance to look at their values and not their ego. The values of living that way, that's gotta be hard. You're in a bomb shelter, for crying out loud, she was. Like when you're in that kind of area, that's gotta be scary shit. Just like myself, I was stabbed with a 12-inch blade. Woke up in the hospital, I had handcuffs on me, both sides, and I had 44 staples. I didn't know what was going on. And I was charged with attempted murder at the same time. But the Crown said she couldn't figure it out, so she just let that one go at the end. But like I said, I did a lot of interesting things to put myself in and out of jail. And I couldn't live by society. I didn't want to live by the rules. I didn't want a leader. I wanted to be the leader, but I didn't know how. So when I went and got clean and sober, I started really facing down to those emotions of what I was. And every time I did something, it would become the anger because I didn't like the way I was. I didn't like the way I felt. So I didn't know how to adapt to it. So I just put anger in there. When I went to the treatment center, they stripped me of all my emotions and rebuilt them so that I can actually understand them. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but it's true, because we went through everything in my life that was going on. I poured it all out every time we'd see him. And we'd look at it as, okay, you're looking at the emotion this way when you're looking at it the wrong way. So they redirect each emotion that we had to build that. Now, I'm only giving you this because it's a back end story that leads me to where I am now. So when I started going to AANA, it was interesting because I went there with an ego. But at the same time, I didn't know how to cope there because I was sober. I don't know how to cope when I'm sober at the time. I went there the first day I met a guy. The guy looked at me and said, "Who's your sponsor?" I said, "What the hell's a sponsor? What do you mean sponsor?" I said, "Who wants to sponsor me?" I mean, I'm thinking like Coca-Cola or something like that. He wasn't talking Coca-Cola. They have a sponsor for everybody to help direct them in the right way. He goes, "Well, here, write down my phone number." He wrote down my phone number on a pack of smokes. And he says, "You're calling me tomorrow night. Call me daily at that time." I said, "Who the heck is this guy?" We almost got into a fight and went around back. And I found that he's an ex-biker. And so we got along pretty good. We understood each other. And he helped me through some pretty hard times. Helped me through the times I need to get up and get going and start seeing things differently. So that was a great leader in that area. Now I had to learn how to be the leader myself. So doing that wasn't easy because, as you know, I'm 30 years in the making of being a drug addict, alcoholic, and a criminal. So I went to school. I didn't know how to do that either at first. I'll tell you why. I got in there and I got to be in school with people 15, 20 years junior to my age. And they're all talking about the big party they had last night. And you're 3 months clean and sober. You could easily go back and have a wobbly pop. You know what I mean? But I didn't. So when I went out for a smoke the one time, the guy was just pressing his luck. He's just kind of pushing me, like, "Hey, listen, let's go out tonight. Let's go have a wobbly pop or whatever. That's a beer." And I just kept saying, "No, no, no, no." Finally, he wouldn't shut up. So I backhanded him and he flew a little bit, but he got the point that I don't want to be there. So that was the last person I actually basically almost knocked out. He was out the wind. So I ended up getting my social service worker diploma, my grade 12 first, my social service diploma, my addictions degree, my BA in psychology, my master's in counseling psychology, my harm reduction, mental health crisis, 2 honorary doctorate degrees. It became an addiction to me. But the reason why I don't have them hanging on my wall or anything behind me is, I'll tell you why. I do got my Forbes or Guinness World Record over here, and I'll tell you the reason for that is because I don't need people to know what credentials I have. If they want to know, they can ask. This starts a conversation. It keeps conversation open. I use all them tools that I had in school, not to sit there and try and study other people. It was to study me, to figure out why I was acting the way I was. How do I become a better person? How do I become that leader? How do I become the person that for the last 20 years or so I've been seen on the front cover with handcuffs? You know what I mean? How do I get out of that vision and put myself in a different vision? Well, I've learned that. I learned how to do that. And then at the same time, I learned how to read body language. So I could read people's body language and sit there and allow them to understand themselves too. Because what happens is when you're sitting there looking at the body language, looking at the physiology of the face, which is the expressions and everything else, where they're tilting their head, where they're up, forward, back, the tone of voice, the body language, the shoulders and everything else. You learn all that stuff. when you're learning that stuff and you're sitting there helping a person out, you know how to help them because you know when they feel uncomfortable. When they start feeling uncomfortable, I could ask the question differently, reverse psychology, and you get the same answer, believe it or not, and they become calmer and they become everything. But you know, you go into some of these places that it goes to their head, oh, I'm a therapist. Okay, well, you're a therapist, big deal. And they talk over your head like, you know, I mean, this is boring. They don't come to your level. I always came to the person's level. I came to the person's level to try and understand where they're at. I try and deal with the core issues, not to bandage it. That was the difference with me. That's why I couldn't work with a team. So I had to open my own business as a therapist and a counselor. And that's the only reason why I did that at first, is because of that. So it ended up allowing me to be upfront, allowing me to be seen in a different value. And then I didn't even know the value of me. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just taking a bunch of classes, bunch of stuff at the time, and I was hoping for the best. When I finally came down to want to be a coach, oh, I tried all different ways. And the marketing, oh, I was bad, you know. I remember my first speaking gig. It was in a room. I rented out the room. I got someone there with $300 worth of food, and there was a lot of food. And I thought for sure at least 100 people were going to come. You know how many people showed up? 4. 4 people showed up, and all 4 of those people were basically speakers. No, not a soul else, nobody else. So what we did was, in order to, okay, well, let's deal with this in a proper manner. Let's put all the food in the empty chairs so the whole room didn't sound like it was hollow. You know what I mean? So we put them all in the different chairs, put the potato salad here, this or that over there, different chairs, the coats in different areas. And I got all 4 of them sit right beside each other, front and back. So we had the camera behind them to look at it, and then me speaking up there. And I'm looking over at the potato salad, and they say, oh, I see you nodding your head over there. I say, you agree with that? I said, you know, what parts, you know, and I just have a little conversation with them. You couldn't hear them because the mic was on me, right? And I mentioned that too. I said, I'm sorry, you can't hear the person because the mic's over here, right? But I'll reiterate, and I did. And overall, at the end of that, I got all 4 of those people to sit there and say nice things about what went on. And now that looked like we had a packed room because of the way we did it and the way we said it. I mean, I said straight up forward, it was a packed room. It was packed. It was packed with potato salad and, you know, all the different foods that we had. So I wasn't lying. But next time I went to do it again, I had 25 people show up next time, right? And I was only asking for 50 at this time. So I had 25 people. So I said, okay, I'm doing something right here. And I'm showing the value of what I need to show to these people, which is a solution to their problem. That solution to each and everybody's problem, you have to find that out. So when a person comes to you, what's their situation they're in and how you get them out? I've had people come to me and say, oh, I've done marketing for years and I know all about this, I know all about that. Well, I used to think that way too with marketing. One of my coaches right now is Armin Morin, one of the top strategists in the world for marketing. When I went to his house, sat in his place there, and we had a big class come in, I thought I knew everything to that moment. That's when I realized, if you're the smartest person in the room, get the hell out. Straight out. If you're the smartest person in that room, you got to get out of there, because there's always room for learning. You need to keep learning. So even today, I still learn. You know, I still do things today that try and keep myself moving forward, try and clean my mind. And, you know, I'm not negative like I was before, but I'm also 20 years clean sober and done a lot of work on me in order to empower other people. So one of the things I love about empowering other people is I don't need the credit for helping them. I just need them to understand. So even when I was working with Marianne, I mean, when you see that glare on her, that she understood and utilizing that stuff that I just said, and it's working, that's good enough for me. I don't need to be, oh yeah, Robert. You know what I mean? Other people will give you the credibility. I don't need to say it myself. You would be amazed the amount of people out there that talk about you, either good or bad. But remember, the bad ones, okay, there's two ways of looking at it. When someone's talking negative about you, it means one, you're doing something right. All right. One, you're doing something right. If you don't have somebody talking bad about you, you're not doing something right. You know what I mean? So, and I'm sorry, a little different from most people. I said, well, that's always good. I said, let's have an understanding of what you're talking about. It's my understanding she was sitting there saying that her father was with the mafia. And I said, okay, well, how's that scare me? You know what I mean? She goes, that doesn't scare me. I said, no. I said, I've known quite a few mafia people, so why would that scare me? I mean, I used to help them out. I mean, like, the only way you're going to scare someone away, even if you are scared to work with a person, I mean, if they have a background that you're not familiar with, it's a learning curve. You both learn together. So when I see that person, even Amanda on here, you know, when I coach her at times or talk to her at times, when she understands, I mean, you can hear it in her voice and you can see it in her face that it's a clear understanding. You know, some of the people I've worked with, I mean, Les Brown's daughter, I've also coached. You know, I've coached some pretty nice people. I've coached people right from the ground up. And I'm not doing that to brag. I mean, I have been featured in Forbes. I have been in Guinness World Records. You know, I've got mass amount of awards. I just won an award a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, for this one right here. It's just called the Canadian Choice Award. It's one of the top business coaches in Belleville, Ontario, which where I live. I don't do that to brag. I mean, if anybody comes in my office, you can't see it because it's behind the door, right? I don't put those ones out. I put the Forbes and that out. And obviously I got my punching bag and stuff here because I'm in martial arts with my son to help him out, guide him at the same time as well. You know, sometimes you just got to, you know, stretch and do things, but I'm stiff right now. It's all good. So here's the thing. Here's what I want to tell you something. When you're looking at your back end story and you say, well, I don't know what to talk about. You got lots to talk about. How did you get over those rough times? How'd you make it through the best times of your life? How'd you sit there and learn what you had to learn? Did you learn from everybody just being positive? Or did you watch people and sit there and say, okay, that's negative. I don't want to do that. It's a simple thing. In order to be a leader, I got to tell people, look, I'll help you with a solution to that problem. I mean, you always have to have a solution. If you have a solution, you could be a leader. You can be a leader anytime you want. But you also got to stick in your ram. I mean, a lot of people I know, they'll sit there on their websites and everything. They'll sit there and say, oh, I deal with this, this, and this. That's fine. Stick with it. Don't sit there and go out of your way and start saying a whole bunch of other stuff. See, I got next level coaching. Underneath that is Robert J. Moore, the speaker. And I got AI stuff down here, different stuff. Like I got, if you ever want to, hey, if you want a freebie of building your business, and you just write it in this comment here, write it in the comment here. I will send you 7 AI agents that help build your business like there is no tomorrow. And I'm not even joking. I will literally send it free. You know what I mean? Like, you just put it in there, whoever wants to try it out. And I'll tell you right now, I've had a lot of people go through this, and it's helped a lot of people. What it is it's connected to ChatGPT. I built all the back end. Took me, it's 2 years in the making. It's 2 years. Yeah, Amanda got hers. I mean, she's loving it. And I'll tell you something right now. 2 years in the making, I finally had to put all that code and everything else in the back of ChatGPT. So then I put it in there. So what you do is you open up your own account. You don't have to pay for anything in ChatGPT. You can use the free version and you just follow the prompts. They do all the heavy lifting. You just tell them what your business is about. It's all about the marketing. It's all about, you know, how to do everything and anything. Like, you wouldn't believe the stuff that you can get out of this. It is absolutely. And then at the end, the bonus one, number 7, I'll be honest with you, it's like CEO in the pocket. It keeps you 3 1 to 3 years or 1 to 4 years in advance of your competitors. It's giving you all the information to keep ahead of the game, teaches you how to market, teaches you how to do things. And that's part about being a leader too, is learning how to do other things, but implementing them in your business that you talk about and you like to be the leader of. Me as a leader, I get a lot of credibility. I win a lot of awards. People see me doing things. I don't have to brag about it. I don't have to tell them about it. They see what I do. Right? Why? Because I am putting it on social media. Why? Because I put it on there, not to brag. I put it on there because I feel achievable. Right? I achieved something. You know, that's a real good thing to have. I've spoken on stages with Les Brown, Bob Proctor. When Bob Proctor was alive, I'll tell you something. There was Les Brown. Okay, he went first. I got called up next. And I was a bit nervous because here I am speaking after Les Brown. And then I didn't know who was speaking behind me, like after me. So I spoke, and then next thing you know, they called Bob Proctor up there. I said, oh boy, this is awful, man. It's great. I love it. The fact that I'm squashed in the middle. But what he said kind of blew my mind. He looked around the room and he asked me to come up on stage with him. I did. And he says, you know, I want to say something. He goes, I have a hard time standing on the stage after you spoke. I said, why? I thought maybe he was going to cry or something. I don't know. Like, I didn't know what was going on. Maybe a touch of nerve with him. Anything's possible. He said to me, no. He says, the reason why is because I don't like getting up on stage after a good speaker. He said, I don't want to ruin it. He goes, you were powerful. You were amazing. For him to say that and then call me an icon, boy, that's a treat. That's a treat and a half right there. And then be endorsed by Satish Verma, the CEO and president of Think and Grow Rich, and be you know, like certified by him, endorsed by him, and many times. These are people that I met as friends now. Before they were like, I put them on a pedestal. The reason why I put them on the pedestal, because I didn't think I could reach that goal. I didn't think I could reach up that level. But guess what? You keep being you. You keep working on you. And don't worry about what other people think or say. But you don't have to brag about it. All you have to do is just keep working on you to build yourself up in order to empower those people that you're dealing with. When you're looking at someone else, put yourself in their shoes. Come to their level. Don't talk over their head. When look, I asked first, okay? I was talking to a person when I very first started doing coaching and that. I said, should I do coaching or what should I do? And I'm all about psychology. So I started putting a package together with psychology and that. And it's like, boy, people are running away from me. I mean, I was talking about hippocampus, you know, the frontal cortex. And they're like, what do we need this for? This ain't going to do nothing for me. But now what I realize is I could use that in my mind. I understand the people. I sit there and listening to them, even when they text or when they write in an email. I can understand the tone that's in there. I can understand if they're hurting, if they're happy, if they're modest, if they're whatever. People don't realize there's tones and stuff like that. It's like people that, you know, that do it for a living, the body language masters. I'm nowhere near that, but I know what I know because, first of all, I used to be a criminal con artist. And I used to read people like crazy, so I know who to go to. So I guess that come in handy, you know. Something it's sad to say, but use your past to utilize your future. It doesn't matter how bad. No, you didn't go down that road. That's fine. You went down your own road. You hit your own bottom. I can't compare to that. Everybody has their own reason for what they're doing. But I'll tell you something. I empowered and helped a lot of people. I bet you any money, man. I'm at least 200,000-300,000 people I've helped in groups, in singles. I mean, I love working with people. I got a special discount going on right now for the rest of the year. 90% off to be coached. I normally charge like $7,000 a month. I'll do it for like $750 US. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, I will literally do that. And the reason why is because I want to empower more people. I want more people to understand how to get there. Times are tough right now. I don't need to gouge. I need them to have an understanding. a real understanding of who they are, build their foundation, build their structure, help them make it move. When the COVID hit, I put a 0 on the end of my structure of my paychecks. Why? Because I understood what people needed. And it was easier. That's why I'm charged for all my programs right now that I build. I'm only charging $67. I could charge $497, not a problem. But I'm charging $67 because I know it doesn't take me long to build. And I want the people to have the value. There, look at this, eh? Surrounded by Amanda, surrounded by Marianne. Boy, I tell you, get an earful that way, wouldn't I? They're good people, man. You know what? You follow these two people here too, you'll get somewhere. They're both took on learning from me with the companies that they have. Not real estate. I don't know nothing about that. I can't tell you anything about real estate. I could tell you how to kick in the door and how to replace it. I can tell you how to build things in it. Like I built this whole place I'm sitting in right now, but I can't tell you how to sell it. You know, I can tell you how to get.
You build it, I'll sell it.
Hey, also I could tell you how to get rid of people from past tense. I got a persuader here that'll help. But you know, it's definitely. I just want to say my last thing I want to say. First of all, man, those glasses look pretty good on you, man. That's cool. You look good. I like the curly hair. Is cool. You're doing all right, man. You're, from what last time I talked to you, man, you're doing okay. We'll see you Monday, by the way, on a coaching call. But listen, I want to tell you something. Get rid of your damn ego. You know what your ego is? Edging God out. Get rid of that. That's getting you nowhere, keeps you in the devil's side. Start being humble. Humble with the stuff that's happening in your past, your future, whatever it is, and you'll go somewhere. You'll definitely go places in that perspective. Hey, Rosemary. There's Rosemary. How you doing, Rosemary? Anyways, I hope that was okay there, Marianne.
You know, I'll give you a pass.
I don't even remember what I said. I never do.
It's all good. I know. Actually, Robert is very, very, very good at authenticity because I don't think he knows how to be anybody else other than himself. So thank you so much for.
I one thing about me I must say is, and you all both, everybody here knows, I'm a straight shooter. I won't care about your emotions. I'll tell you, I care more about your business than your emotions.
Oh God, that's so
we'll deal with the
true.
emotions later. What's that?
That's so true. But the way I said it was, oh God, that's so true. Yes, be prepared.
You know, it's well worth it though.
Take criticism really well. Anyways, he does care about your business. So thank you so much for that. And thank you for sharing all of your new things you're doing and everything else. He's always doing something new and different, and which is kind of encouraging for me. I won't speak for Amanda, but I know for me for sure. And
I got other things on the go I'm not talking about yet though.
What's really cool is that Amanda and I are now working together as well. So that's
beautiful.
I don't think.
Okay, ladies. Okay, ladies.
More.
I'm gonna go travel. I got some business to take care of. Yeah, I got another call to take right now.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
It's a pleasure.
So now we have, what time is it? We basically have a half an hour to talk about something that we talk about on all the summits, which is this amazing company. I know that I'm probably going to be missing a whole ton of them, but I did want to also talk about these two products because we don't always talk about them. But APLGO is a company that has worked out very nicely for me. In fact, thank you, APLGO. I'm about to board a plane in a couple of weeks for my 5th trip. Now, that's my 5th trip with the company in just under 3 months, because I'm trying to figure out how long I've actually been. It's more than 2.5 years, but it's not yet 3 months, 3 years. In less than 3 years, I have won 7 trips, but I didn't go on 2 of them. So 5 trips in less than 3 years. That's outstanding. So I am going on a cruise to Greece. So we're going to spend a couple of days in Athens first, and then we're boarding a ship. And it's going to be 7 days, basically. So it's a 7 day. Well, it's actually 8, but I know that it's going to be done in the morning on the 8th day. So I just say 7 days, but 7 days of Greece, and we have I think 1 day in Italy too. So it's going to be exciting. And this company does not cheap out. So we get balcony rooms. We don't get just regular rooms. We get balcony rooms. So I'm super excited. And yeah, so I do want to talk a little bit about the product because the 3 of us are all doing it. And both of these ladies are on my team and they're absolutely amazing. So we thought we'd give you some testimonials about really amazing things that we have done. So not only is the compensation package really great, which is at 63%, and I don't want to get into the whole thing, but it does pay quite well. The trips are outstanding. I mean, I've been to Cancun, Dominican, oh my gosh, Arizona, Dubai, which was an amazing trip also. That was the first trip I won. Can you imagine? I joined the company in the last week of November. And by February, I won a trip to Dubai. And by March, I won a second trip, like for a second person. And I was just like, wow, I'm going to like it here. And all with a product that is absolutely amazing. So here's 2 products that I can't seem to obviously hold in my hands. But so I am not diabetic, but I am insulin resistant. And as long as I keep an eye on it, I'm generally good. But sometimes stress, and sometimes you go and you work a festival for the whole weekend and you end up eating some junk food. So this is my new best friend. So NRM actually helps to bring down your blood sugar and helps to balance it out, and all while tasting like a candy and also being packaged like a lozenge. So that's basically what they are. And they're all made from the DNA of the plant, and they're all infused with negative ions, and they are up to 100% absorbability. And so it's absolutely amazing because it's basically a candy that you would suck on, and it works through the mucosal membrane in your mouth, and it goes right into your bloodstream and just heals quick, which seems to be the vibe for everything these days, right? Like everything is AI. Let's do this fast. Let's do that fast. Let's faster cars, faster this. Everything's fast, right? The other product I do want to talk about, because I did end up selling a lot of these this weekend and I didn't really know. So, not to mention it's HRT. So it's heart, it stands for heart. So it's all about the heart. So if you have had I have a friend who had a heart attack when she was quite young. So this works really well for her. I don't so much have heart issues as just circulation issues, maybe more so, which I had some when I was little as a child, but also now because I'm sitting a lot at work, I'm at the computer an awful lot. So this helps with circulation. And also if anyone has high blood pressure, it helps to help balance it out. They all taste good. This is, what they look like. They come in various colors and they're pretty and they taste great. And you should take them because they're absolutely amazing. And if you're looking for a side hustle, this is the perfect job. I sometimes make more money with my side hustle than I do with my full-time job. So anyway, my full-time job is also being an entrepreneur and doing other things. So with that, I'm going to stop talking for a little while so you can hear other people's voice. So we'll have Rosemary chime in and say hello, and then we'll have Amanda chime in and say hello. Go for it.
Good morning or good afternoon now. I'm not sure where we're at, but thank you, Marianne, for this beautiful time allowing us to talk about our products or our services, whatever they are. As Marianne has brought up, I too was brought into the fold under the APLGO line of nutritional drops. And like everybody, you kind of start out being very pessimistic, cautious. Is this really going to work? And you want to test it. And the couple that I tested first were related around bone and pain, bone health, inflammation, as I had a lot of difficulty in the past with poor bones and circulation and stuff, and a lot of pain. So I tried these, and Marianne always loves me to tell my initial story on this. But like I said, I come in with not sure about it. Well, I decided to take these two products. These are the ones right here. Let me put those up. SLD and STP. SLD is for inflammation and joints, and the SLT is for pain and pain management. On a particular occasion, I was looking to update my dress and my clothing. And what I didn't mention is that because of my bone health, I never wore heels. Well, on this particular occasion, I decided I was going to invest in a pair of beautiful heels that I absolutely fell in love with, and thought, okay, I'm going to try them. I'll see how long they take, and maybe I can manage about an hour in heels. It was the first time in many, many, many years. And I went to this event, and like a lot of events, you're standing, you're sitting, you're walking, you're talking, you're doing a lot of things. And it was a busy day, and I totally forgot that I was even wearing the heels, but I'd also taken those drops before I left, just to clarify that. And it wasn't until mid-afternoon that someone had brought it to my attention that they had never seen me in heels before, and how fabulous I looked in heels, and I should do it more often. It wasn't until that point that I realized I was still wearing the heels. So as far as pain and stress and ankle pain, there wasn't any. Yes, I will admit there was a strain because I'd been in them all day long, but that's a normal strain. But I was totally sold on the products just based on that alone. I take many other different products for different other things that I'm dealing with. And as Marianne mentioned, the NRM, that was for my immune system. And I take a few of them, and I swear by them. I absolutely love them, and they do work. They also, as a little side note that wasn't mentioned, is that they're sweet, they're fruity, no sugar. And if you're like me and you want that little bit of sweet after a very savory meal, pop a couple of those in your mouth and you'll have forgotten about dessert altogether. So for me, it's a dessert replacement. I love it, and I use it every day. Thank you. Thank you, Marianne.
I know I forgot to always mention that I'm a bit of a sugaraholic, and this really quenches my sugar cravings sometimes, like if I'm dieting and whatever. And we have a great weight loss product that I have lost 13 pounds with in 1 month. So it does go into the visceral fat, and it eats away at the visceral fat. So just to mention, Rosemary said there's no sugar. There technically is not any sugar, but it is sweetened with beetroot sugar, and which is not sugar, but beetroot and molasses. So I don't know if you know, but molasses has, I don't even know what the number is, but it's several nutrients in it. I'm sure somebody will look it up at some point and let me know what that is, but several nutrients in molasses. So at the end in order to make them. So what happens is they never actually expire unless you were going to leave them somehow in the burning sun. And then they might actually adhere to the package. And then I don't, I'm not sure what they would look like, but they actually never expire. So what they did was they just ever so slightly, I believe they either brush it or they just spray like not even like a barely a gram, not even like a milligram or whatever the smallest amount is of sugar, just to keep it in the package and keep it from going bad. So it literally never ever expires. Now we are required to put an expiry date on it because Health Canada requires it, and so we have done that, but they really never go bad. And we've had kids accidentally eat an entire box and nothing happens. We've had, animals go into it. I don't know about the ladies here, but I definitely give it to my dog. I give him several different kinds. So like yesterday, he went in for grooming. And if you're lucky like me to have, actually, that's my dog's name, Lucky. He has a little rascal. So I have to actually give him the Relax, which is to calm the nervous system. That's what we use for people who are depressed or suffer from anxiety, or people who can't fall asleep and can't sleep easily and effortlessly. So I gave him 2 of those yesterday. So that's, he takes those. Sometimes if I have to leave him a little bit longer here, I give him a Relax, but I give him the MLS, which is also for, if anyone's got a box of MLS handy, feel free to show it. There it is. MLS is one of my favorite products because I'm going to say it. It kills off parasites, and it kills off a lot of them, 250 different kinds and then some. And so I use that for my dog, because if you have a dog or a pet and you love to hug and kiss them, trust me, you have parasites, and you have parasites anyway. So besides that, so this actually helps to clean up, and balance out the microbiome. So you want this if you're trying to lose weight. You want this, period, because if you have like a puffy belly, this is your new best friend. Puffy belly, meet MLS. You are no longer puffy. It's just the way it is. I also give Lucky, I wonder if I have one somewhere. Here it is. This is our newest one. So Lucky is 11. I want him to live forever. This is a stem cell regenerator and a telomere extender. I can't say enough about this product. I can't pinpoint exactly what has healed up inside of my body. All I know is since I've been taking this, I feel better. I feel stronger. The end. That's it. That's the product. I believe it comes in a color similar to this. It tastes like mango. It tastes absolutely amazing. All of our products taste amazing. All of them have an anti-inflammatory component to them. Ashwagandha is one of our number one products. It's in so many of our products. I don't even know. We've got ginger. They're all natural. They're halal. They're kosher. They're vegan. If you're worried about any of that, this is all covered. So with that, I am now going to pass you over to Amanda so she can share her story.
Thank you, Marianne, for having me. So I started on this product probably, I would say, just over a year ago. And I absolutely love it. And when I first had started connecting with Marianne about the product, some of the things that I had struggled with was I consumed way too much sugar. And I was drinking a ton of energy drinks, and I had this belly because of the way I was consuming caffeine and sugar and just not balancing that out. So Marianne was like, well, why don't you just try this and let's see what happens. So I did, and I really wasn't thinking a lot was going to happen with this product at all. And so I started with the STP and the GTS, and these are 2 of my favorites. I was able to get off of the energy drinks completely. I don't have a belly at all. My weight and my metabolism is actually back to normal. And I did take the MLS quite regularly, and I do take the Happy. So as I kept taking the products, I kept getting better results. The more that I tried and the more that I took of them, I felt better. And so this one I will always rave about because this is our Happy HPY product. And if you're a female and you suffer from like menstrual symptoms, it's a really, really helpful product. It makes it a lot better every month, that's for sure. And this one also helps with mood and balancing your metabolism, which is probably why my metabolism is so great now. So before I would eat and my stomach would get inflamed, it would swell out, probably parasites too. So the MLS kind of helped with that. And the HPR, which is the blue box. I just am looking for that one. But that one is awesome too. And it clears out the liver and just detoxes the body, helps with blood purification, like all this really great, amazing things. But the reason why I love the product mostly is because I've done a lot of diets. I've taken a lot of different supplements. I worked at a health food store for a while, so I've done a lot of different things. And I'm a busy mom with 3 kids and a business and a multitude of other hats, probably like everybody else. And I couldn't commit to a diet. I couldn't commit to drinking shakes multiple times a day. I couldn't commit to going to the gym multiple times a day. So for me, this product was a dream because it's literally just a candy. It's not a huge commitment, and the results that you get from it are actually like super amazing because I don't feel tired anymore. I don't drink energy drinks. I don't need to drink 5 cups of coffee a day because I'm crashing out by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So for me, like to have something like this on a busy schedule that I could just like literally just throw in my purse or wherever, take with me wherever, like it's amazing. And I don't need a degree in food science to understand what's actually in this product. It's very like you can look at the ingredients. There is nothing in there that you can't read. Like it's amazing. It's herbs. It's all natural. There's no dyes, no preservatives, no GMOs. Like you know what you're consuming. And the other part of it that I think is absolutely amazing is it's right to your bloodstream and you get immediate results. So you're not spending $20, $25, $30 on 10 different bottles of pills, which gets expensive every month. Because again, I worked at a health food store, so I know what kind of money people are spending on having multiple different bottles of supplements. And again, you also have that commitment piece where you have to remember to take that as well, those 10 different bottles, right? And they all taste gross and they're, kind of yucky. So this for me, like it's going right in. I know it's not getting wasted in the digestive tract. I'm not losing nutrients and I'm not losing what the product's intended to do because it's going right in my bloodstream, which is a common problem with a lot of supplements. And I think, to have something that actually tastes good, how can you say no? So, I mean, for me, it's a yes, and I've never stopped. Every month I'm ordering because I enjoy the taste of it and it makes me feel good and I don't have to question it. But when I don't take it, everybody knows. Marianne especially knows when I'm not taking the product. She's like, "Are you taking your jobs?" So they really do work, and I'm so grateful to be able to have this product and be connected to awesome ladies who are working on the same health goals, who are authentic, who do want to see you succeed and do want you to be like your best self. So again, thank you, Marianne, for having me today.
So thank you so much for coming. Both of you ladies are awesome. And typically we have even more people here but there's always something going on, and there's a lot of the ladies are doing, like Julie and Linda are doing trade shows, and this is huge trade show season because it's fall, so there's a lot of farmers markets and all kinds of different awesome. Oh, and here comes Tammy. I thought she would be on a trip, but I did want to mention, actually, I'm going to let Tammy talk about, I think I can't remember exactly. I know this is one of her products, and I believe this is the other one that she uses the most. So I'm going to let her tell you this, or Tammy, I'm going to let her tell you the story of what happened when she started taking these two products, because she's got a better story than I do. Go for it, Tammy. And thank you so much, Amanda.
Yeah. Oh, first of all, sorry I'm late, and thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be around all of you. Oh my gosh, hugs, kisses. Okay, so getting right into it, these two, Marianne, she introduced me to these vitamin supplements, and I'm like that girl who was like, I don't need anything, I'm good. And then all of a sudden I started taking them, and I was like, what is going on? And your clothes a little bit looser in certain spots on your body. And it turned out that I lost, no, I don't want to say I lost because I'm not looking for it. I reduced about 6.5 inches from taking Grow to boost my immune system. That's what the reason I was taking it, for immunity. And also this for inflammation, because from all the trainings that APLGO has, it tells us that a lot of the challenges that we have is from inflammation. It is any kind of pain, any stiffness. Sometimes we just get so used to it. I was doing stuff, I didn't notice anything, and these two things were supposed to help with that. And I came down like about 6.5 inches just from these two. So the sad reality of it is that they taste so darn good, I can't keep them in the house. I didn't have it yet today. I'm about to pop it right now. And the other thing too that happened, you can't tell with my hair now, but my hair grew. Now I always had a head full of hair. My brother used to sit, and I used to sit on the couch, and he would actually, I would sit on the floor, he would sit on the couch, and he would literally comb my hair as a child. So I have a lot of hair, and it grew more. I've cut it and trimmed it and everything else. So these two I don't go without, especially now this time of year for immunity. Our son is into school, and APLGO had an amazing back to school kit for kids. I made sure to get that, so he has his very own now. Not just using mine anymore. So these are my two. So yeah, so I'm into that. I have a whole bunch of them here. Oh, I can't live without this one. I didn't know I had a problem with focus and clarity until I started taking this here, BRN. And the beautiful thing, another reason why I love APLGO, I can't eat all the foods and ingredients that each one of these provide. There's a long list of foods, people talking about all the things that boost your brain, all the things that boost. There's like over 30 something. I counted one day. I would never be able to eat them all. So guess what? APLGO to the rescue. So that's me. I'm going to take mine right now so I can have focus and clarity. And it helps me to try to figure out where my glasses are. Oh, they're on. No more thinking about where my glasses are, and they're sitting right here. No more walking in the kitchen going, what did I come in here for? And it doesn't have anything to do with age. It has to do with too many things, too many distractions. And this here helps to focus. And guess what? Our 15-year-old, he's got his own package now too.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of students on BRN, especially in exam season, and also just kids in general. I mean, ADD, ADHD, autism, and then on the other spectrum, it'll be on the other side, it'll be dementia. We've had incredible results with those, where people have just gotten just a ridiculous amount of focus back. So it's almost like they've gotten their brains back. And for menopause, oh, come on. Let's just, anyone who's in menopause, please. I mean, if you're in menopause and if you don't have brain fog, I don't know who you are. Because let me tell you. But I did want to mention on this, so Grow, this is the one that will make your hair grow. It makes my hair grow almost to the point of problematic. So I used to like put my hair into a ponytail very sleek, you know, because I have really thin hair. I have to spray it down with the hairspray or else. But now I stopped using the hairspray. I don't want to have so many chemicals in my head. So I tried to, now I have to do the sunglass thing because they fit my head really well, but they hide all the little hairs. I have all these little tiny hairs growing. So this product works on so many things inside of your body. I can't even get into it. There's no time. They won an award in 2020 out of 423 products for the best immune booster in 2020 when it was all about the immune system. And this, I don't think I have one client that's not using this. I don't think I have one. Young, old, medium, like it just everything. It's just inflammation rampant, literally everywhere everywhere. I can't even do it. I did want to mention, only because we did speak of the visceral fat. Mm-hmm. This is the one I used. I believe we end up using about 3 or, because it's 30 days. This is 30 days supply inside of here. If you use it 3 times a day, which is what you're supposed to, mm-hmm. It'll be 3 boxes for 1 month. And then you get a little more than a half. So a month and 7 weeks, maybe something like that. They come in packages of 5. So those are amazing. I'm only going to talk about this one for a minute because I ended up selling a ton of these at the Brampton Fair I was just at. So this one comes, and I don't have a handy power apricot. These are 2 hormone balancers. This one is for testosterone. The other one is for estrogen. You need both because we all have both. But this is a natural, a little bit slower working than Viagra, but it will happen to do a very similar thing. So we talked a lot about this, and there was a lot of men who ended up buying that. And then there was a lot of women who ended up buying that. I'm going to tell you that I believe it strengthened my bladder, and I don't get up at night as many times. So I used to get up maybe 5-6 times a night. And now maybe once, maybe twice, rarely twice. Like I must have drank a lot of water before that, if that's what that happened. And yeah, that pretty much covers it. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for coming. You're welcome to stay. Yeah, we spoke about the SLD. It's an anti-inflammatory. You want to say something else about that one? Yeah, go.
I want to say that I didn't realize how much it relieves pain until my mom, who had knee replacement surgery, and it took her a long time to get up off the couch and using a cane. And after only 2 days of using this, she wasn't using the cane. She was just getting up, and she's like, "Is it because of this?" I said, "Yep." I sound like Marianne right now, but yep, it definitely is. So I just wanted to share that.
You're muted, Marianne.
So I use SLD for planes now. I don't go on a plane without it. So I take it right before I'm about to board, or sometime soon. And then I take it, depending on how long the trip is, I take it maybe 2 more times. And I get off the plane and I'm not swollen. My feet aren't swollen. Everything is all good. My face isn't all swollen. My fingers aren't hot dogs. It's really good. And because where there is pain, there for sure is inflammation. And so when someone tells me pain, you have to take the STP and the SLD together for optimal results. Now, maybe in some cases, just the STP will work, and maybe in some cases, just the SLD will work. But these are the 2 if you have pain. That was probably my number 1 seller at the event, for sure. It's probably my number 1 seller. I did want to mention this. I don't want to exclude it only because it's September. This is the product that made me want to join the company more than ever. And this is the product, and this is the reason. I had horrifying seasonal allergies, and I was taking something over the counter that you could buy at a drugstore that wasn't really good for you. And I don't want to say the name, but it's a famous allergy relief. It does take down inflammation. It does work, but taking that 3 times a day for 3 whole months in the spring and 2 whole months in the fall was exhausting and never good for my liver. And then I discovered these, and I absolutely took over one of these 3 times a day. That's what I did instead of the other one. And that was for the first year. The following year, I took less. I maybe took 1 or 2, depending on how bad the day was. And this year in spring, I am happy to report that I barely used. So keep in mind, 3 of these boxes a month for 3 months is 9 boxes. This year in 3 months, I barely used 2 boxes, barely. Honestly, I think I really just used 1, and it was on a couple of really rough days. And maybe, because a lot of everything has to do with your immune system, and a lot of everything has to do with your microbiome. So when you clean up your microbiome, that's where the MLS comes in handy. That's where all of that comes in handy. So when you clean that up, your allergies are much better. When your immune system is stronger. So, if you're not sleeping or you're working, sometimes my schedule gets away from me, especially in the spring, because it's hot real estate season. So that's it. That's what I'm going to tell you. And that brings us to our conclusion of our APLGO hour. And we have Cathy here. We're now going to talk to you. Now, Cathy did have the pleasure of using some of the products, but we're going to talk about gold coins with Cathy. See, everyone's got the anti-inflammatory one. It's our number 1 seller, honestly. Well, actually, in the world, our number 1 seller is Relax, and it's because people can't sleep, and that's the number 1 problem in the entire world. That's it. That's all. Thank you, ladies, so much. You're welcome to stay as long as you can, but we are now going to proceed to talk about our gold and silver coins with Cathy Guzzo, the fairy gold mother. Cathy.
Good afternoon. Good. Hello. Thank you, Marianne. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you. I'm excited to be sharing today.
I'm super, super excited. Go for it. I'm just going to stay quiet, and I'm going to let you speak, because I am going to show these 2 coins only because they're handy, and I don't know. I put my other ones away. I was doing some cleaning, and now I don't.
Welcome, everybody. We're going to be talking about some gold and silver today. Yes, Marianne's holding up 2 custom coins that she made with her website. One's her logo, and one's her favorite little puppy. Look at this. This is amazing.
This is my logo. And yes. It's on a copper coin. So copper being really awesome as well. And this is Lucky and myself, and also copper coin. Go ahead, Cathy.
Yes. And so with what I'm going to be sharing with you today, and Marianne's going to share a link with you later on, you have the ability to create a custom coin just like that for you on a base of either pure copper or pure silver. I'm going to be sharing that with you. But let me get right to this, because this is an amazing opportunity. If I told you this is a 1 ounce solid gold Krugerrand, 1978, I bought this for $185. So let's say in 1978, if you had just spent $400 on pure gold like this, what would you have today? $8,000 worth of gold. That's what we're going to show you, a way to protect your purchasing power. So let me share my screen real quick, and we're going to get right to this. We're going to talk about wealth strategies that anyone can implement. It's no longer something just for the wealthy, just for the rich, just for the famous. This is for everyone, and that's why we're super excited to share this with you. So my background, I've been in the space of gold and silver 5 decades now. I started in the jewelry business in the 1970s. This is a shot of one of my retail storefronts. I was the only 3-store independent jewelry chain in the state of Alabama. And this is by Michael Anthony, my namesake for what I did. But I'm going to share with you wealth strategies right now that have never, ever been able to deliver to an individual the ability to do this simply and easily. Yes, we know gold and silver have been recognized as money for over 5,000 years, but there's now a way that anyone can do it with the technology that we're going to share with you today, simply and easily from the comfort of your own home at the click of your mouse. So let me share a short video with you, and then I'm going to come back and explain it and talk about it just a little bit with you. So let's watch this short clip. Thanks.
If you're watching this video, chances are you've got some questions about gold or silver. You know they're valuable, but maybe it feels complicated. You're not sure how to use them, where to start, or who to trust. Or maybe you already own gold or silver, but want a simpler way. That's exactly why we made this, to share what we've learned, so you can make confident decisions and take real steps toward building with gold and silver, and hopefully give you enough confidence to get involved. At 7K, our mission is simple. Put gold and silver into the hands of people who need it most. We are a North American authorized gold and silver dealer located in the state of Idaho. For over a decade, we've worked to remove the friction, fear, and confusion for the first-time buyer, and to simplify the process for a seasoned stacker to add more precious metals to their portfolio. Gold and silver are everywhere in the news. Governments are stacking it. It's one of the most significant asset classes on Earth, and people across the globe are paying attention. But why? Let's start with a quick look at our modern money system. In 1913, the US dollar was backed by gold and had full purchasing power. But when the government detached it from gold in 1971 and started printing like crazy, the dollar lost over 97% of its value. That's inflation, and you felt it from the grocery store to your energy bill. Fiat currency is money created by governments with no real backing, just paper we've agreed to trust. And every time they print more, your dollars buy less. That's where sound money, a better name for gold and silver, comes in. It's been a trusted store of value for thousands of years. The wealthy have used it to preserve and grow wealth, and so do banks and governments. They know what it's worth. Let's look at a simple comparison. 5 years ago, if you saved $1,000 in the bank, inflation would have eaten away at its value. But if you'd used that same $1,000 to buy gold or silver, that gold would be worth over $1,900 today. The silver, over $2,000. Would that knowledge have changed your strategy? Probably. So why doesn't everyone do this? Because gold and silver got too complicated. People don't know how to use it, sell it, or even where to start. That's where we come in. We've made owning gold and silver simple, accessible, and smart. As a 7K member, you'll get tools that help you start stacking with confidence, starting with Sound Money Wallet, the foundation of our basic membership. Here's what it unlocks. First, fractional gold and silver purchases on any budget. Although we handle purchases in the millions, you don't have to have large amounts of money to buy gold or silver anymore. You can literally start with $1. Next, safe, secure, insured storage. No private safes or extra security systems at home required. Also, quick and easy buyback at top prices. No haggling, period. Lastly, fast, reliable shipping if you want it in hand. Sound Money Wallet solves the traditional pain points of buying and holding metals. It's a fresh take on the most time-tested form of money. And remember, there's no speculation here, only physical assets. Sound Money alone costs $199 a year. With our basic membership, you'll get Sound Money Wallet with up to $1,000 in free storage through our Vault Max facility for less. But we're more than a gold and silver dealer. We're an education platform. Our buyer certification teaches you the basics of stacking, while the collector certification opens up the exciting world of collectible gold and silver. Exclusive, limited edition coins with stories, beauty, and real value. We've spent the last decade building the most robust marketplace around collectibles. And as a member, you get exclusive access. You'll also get tools to track and sell your collectibles through Stack and Sell, our secure trading platform. Want to supercharge your stacking? That's where Instant Gold Pay comes in. For every new 7K member you refer, we'll thank you with up to $80 in pure gold, deposited directly into Vault Max and visible in your Sound Money wallet. We don't do flashy ads. We'd rather pay you to spread the word. And if you refer 4 people within your first 14 days, we'll add up to $500 in cash rewards on top of the gold. No pressure. Sharing is totally optional. If you'd rather stack quietly, that works too. All of that comes with our basic membership. You can see that it's well worth over $400 for all the platforms here. but it's only a one-time $149, less than your annual Amazon Prime bill or premium Netflix subscription. And if you want more, go Legacy. Legacy members get everything basic offers plus $50,000 in free storage instead of $1,000, more gold up front, unlimited collectible tracking, and a Sound Money metal matching bonus. Every time someone you refer buys gold or silver, you get up to 1% of it automatically in real metals. Whether it's 1% of 1,000 or 1 million, you won't want to miss out on free Sound Money. If you like the idea of up to $50,000 in free physical gold and silver storage in the secure Vault Max vaults or the Sound Money metal matching bonus, the Legacy can't be beat. So it's either the basic for $149 or the Get It All Legacy for $599. Just pick the one that makes the most sense for you right now. Once you've selected a membership, you've already taken a big step, but why stop there? Successful people automate what they can because it helps them be efficient. They invest in themselves, they pay themselves first, and they make it automatic. Start with a monthly budget that fits your goals. Part for education, part for wealth building, and let automation do the heavy lifting. When it comes to education, 7K Pro is your gateway to next level confidence. With a growing library of life mastery topics, you'll get the knowledge and mindset to grow your wealth and your future. Plus, you'll unlock exclusive collectible coin access, extra perks, and member savings, all for just $59 a month. Every membership includes a 15-day free trial of 7K Pro. You'll be billed monthly after that, but you can update or cancel anytime. Now remember that monthly budget we mentioned? Here's a smart way to use it. Put $60 into 7K Pro for education and the balance towards Wealth Builder, a first-of-its-kind subscription that lets you choose your metal, gold or silver, set your amount, and auto-stack assets weekly or monthly. It's the easiest way to build your Sound Money portfolio hands-free. Either way, you win. There are many options, but the point is this: success loves automation. So let's make investing in yourself and your future effortless. Take a look at what would have happened if you would have set your Wealth Builder to purchase $100 in gold every month over the last 3 years. The real key to winning in this system is automation. You automate your monthly bills so you don't miss them. Why not automate paying yourself first to start hitting your goals without thinking about it? Autosaver sends you a premium collectible coin each month. No guesswork or effort required. These tools turn gold and silver from a someday idea into a steady strategy that fits your life. So, what's your next step? Pick the membership that fits your goals. If you've got questions, talk to the person who invited you. Last thing, we mentioned this earlier, and it's fair for you to know. We have a way for you to get whichever membership you choose paid for quickly. It's likely you are already thinking of 4 or 5 people you know who might want this information. Remember the instant gold pay? For every Legacy membership you refer, we will pay you $80 in gold instantly. That adds up quickly. And if you bring 4 in the first 14 days after you pick a membership, we are willing to pay up to $500 in a cash reward on top of that gold pay. That's $320 in gold and $500 in cash. That's over $800 back in your pocket. Again, this is optional. And if you like that, but want more, we do have other ways where you could scale this program to earn even more rewards consistently over time. That's in another video. For now, let the person who shared this information with you know which membership you'd like. And welcome to 7K, where real assets meet real confidence.
Well, that's the quick overview about those 2 amazing memberships. But this kind of recaptures the essence of what you just heard. If you look at what would happen to $1,000 in cash, $1,000 in gold, and $1,000 in silver over the course of April of 2020 to April of 2025, just that 5-year span, let's look at the facts. The $1,000 in cash would now give you 24% less in your purchasing power due to inflation. So you can now purchase $760 in the marketplace instead of your $1,000. But if you had put that $1,000 in gold, it would have almost doubled to $1,913. If you'd put it in silver, it would have more than doubled. So that's what the essence of this is, how to protect your purchasing power from inflation. When you look at this simple graph, this kind of shows the green line is the declining purchasing power of the dollar, and the gold line is the increasing purchasing power of gold. So that's what we're here to share with you. It's as simple as grabbing a membership, basic or a legacy. Just to recap, let's talk about what you're going to get with the legacy all-in membership. You're going to get a $40 instant gold pure bullion deposit into your Sound Money wallet. Just when you click yes to the membership, you start out with your own little stash of gold bullion. So if you've never owned gold, you can own that today when you say yes to a membership instantly. Not only that, the Sound Money wallet is the first ever digital wallet for physical gold and silver in the world. This has revolutionized technology and made it a process where anybody can acquire gold and silver simply and easily. And what we do is basically we just trade asset classes. You decide what amount of paper money or USD you want to transfer into precious metal. And now, for the first time ever, as little as $1 at a time. It's a level playing field for anybody in the marketplace. You don't have to have a bankroll to do this. So now you can do this 24/7, 365 days a year, even when the market is closed. There's 4 asset classes you can purchase in. We're never out of stock. You can trade asset classes, click of your mouse, as little as $1 at a time when you decide. Now, that's the first process where it's in the store of value of precious metal. So it's holding its purchasing power and gaining where the dollar is declining. Now, let's say you need access to that money for any reason. At the click of your mouse, you can liquidate your precious metal, have it go back into paper money, and it's the highest buyback price I have ever seen in the industry, and it's instant, and there's no fee to do that. The click of your mouse and it's done. It either goes back into your bank account if you're in the USA or back onto your card if you're outside of the USA, but you have access to that money. And then you can also transfer member to member, gold and silver anytime you want, and there's no fee to do that as well. And this is outside the system. This is a private membership with private access with proprietary software that you're seeing here. And that leads me right to our next benefit here with the Legacy All-In membership, the Vault Max. This is the vault that your metal can be stored in. This is a military grade storage facility with a class 3. I was a class 1 when I was in the jewelry business. That was pretty extensive. This is like a bank vault, if you would. And it's underwritten, and it's underwritten by Lloyd's of London. They were my underwriter when I was in the jewelry business. They're the best of the best of the best. What does that mean for you? That means when you have your precious metals stored in Vault Max, it's 100% insured and backed by Lloyd's of London. So that just ought to give you that peace of mind that is really important about protecting your purchasing power with gold and silver using this platform. You get $50,000 worth of precious metal storage with that legacy membership too. And we've heard of people paying $200 to $300 a month for just having access to that kind of storage. And it's not necessarily insured by Lloyd's of London. I love that because this allows you to purchase gold and silver, leave it stored. You don't have to take physical possession of it. Keeps you safe and secure. You don't have to have a vault at home. You're using Vault Max with this membership. And what that does is it allows you to get access to that purchasing power through that Sound Money wallet simply and easily if you need it with the click of your mouse. Super, super exciting. So that's another benefit of the legacy membership. Then you get that buyer certification we talked about in the video, the collector certification. Most of the people that get started with us here, Marianne will tell you, they don't have a knowledge base of gold and silver. They're professionals in their own field of expertise. They're realtors or they're bankers or they're lawyers or whatever. But the gold and silver space is a new one. But this gives you the education that you need in order to make good buying decisions for you and your family. Most people don't know much. They get started with us. They access the member education portal here, and they find it absolutely life-changing. So we've been told that the education piece is worth the membership alone. So that's available for you here with the Legacy All-In membership. And you have Stack and Sell. This allows you to track, verify your collectible coins simply and easily. And the biggest factor here is this platform has eliminated fraud in the marketplace when you're working with collectible coins. It was so rampant that 7K actually did create this program by a partner company so that we could have everything tested, everything validated to protect our purchasing power. And you have unlimited access with this Legacy membership. That means you can store your collectible coins as in the inventory portal. That means you can actually purchase from discontinued coins all around the world. It means you can liquidate at the click of your mouse. If you want to, move a coin or get into this one or out of that one, you have total control over it. This platform is absolutely amazing. And the fact that it eliminates fraud is all you got to tell me, because I want that peace of mind when it comes to how we're handling our money, right? This gives you unlimited access with a Legacy membership. This is a game changer as well. And you get instant gold pay with this. So, even if you don't want to share the membership, I just want to tell you, there's only 15% of us around the world that share this membership with folks. And Marianne and I love doing it because we don't know of one person that wouldn't benefit from it. But if you don't want to share, that's okay. The benefits stand alone. But I want you to know, even if you want to share your link with somebody and say, hey, you might want to look at this, this might be a benefit for you, you get instant gold every time you share your link, even just as a thank you from 7K. So you can get up to $80 in pure gold bullion every time you do that. And with this membership, it's an exclusive benefit that's the matching metal bonus. I have to stop here just for a minute and just share with you something that happened 2 days ago. There's been what this does for you. When you have the Legacy membership and you activate this feature, it takes 15 seconds. Then anytime someone is purchasing in their Sound Money wallet and they're your personal referral, you're going to get a 1% matching metal bonus. Well, prior to 2 days ago, it's been anything from a few cents to a few dollars to a few $100s and even several thousand. We've heard of it being 22 or 23,000 was the max until 2 days ago. One of our members on our team got a $75,000 matching metal bonus. Her personal had moved a lot of money in the Sound Money wallet, and that was her benefit because she had the Legacy membership and she had this benefit activated and she had an active membership. So this can be substantial. So this, just to recap that metal bonus, you are allowed to purchase in any of those 4 asset classes there 24/7, even when the market's closed, the 2 most recognized coins in the world, the gold eagle and the silver eagle, and out of 100-ounce silver bars and 1-ounce gold bars. So when you grab a Legacy membership and activate this feature, and if that's something you want to do, I promise you, Marianne will work with you, you'll have that done. And anytime you share this personally with someone and they use your link to do it, you're going to get a 1% matching metal bonus on anything they do in the Sound Money wallet, even if they decide to do an IRA rollover, which sometimes can be in the millions of dollars. So all of that is available to you in the Legacy membership, lifetime access for a one-time fee of $599 USD. That's it. You get all the benefit that I've just shared with you and access to that for a lifetime. The other membership we have for you is the basic. Just to recap that, you're going to get a starter deposit of $20 in pure gold bullion when you say yes. You're going to get that great Sound Money wallet, the first ever digital wallet for physical gold and silver that's outside the system. It's private. This is proprietary to this private membership. You're going to get Vault Max. You're going to get up to $1,000 in storage in that military grade facility. And you're going to get the buyer certification, the collector certification we talked about. And you're going to get Stack and Sell. You're going to get limited access. You'll be able to track up to 10 coins in there, but you're going to get started. And you're going to get that instant gold pay if you just wanted to share your link with anybody, up to $80 each time you do, over a $400 value. And the basic membership, as I've just described to you, is just a one-time fee of $149 USD, lifetime access to it. So here are your two options. Super simple. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Basic membership for $149, legacy for just $5.99. This is lifetime access. And your membership today is going to come with 15 days free of our 7K Pro subscription. That's going to give you even more value. You're going to see when you get in here and explore the options. It's going to actually give you access to our 7K Advantage. That's our wholesale buying club. We have over 850,000 merchants in here offering discounts to you. I promise these are people you're already shopping with, but you're just not getting these discounts. So we can show you how, by just taking advantage of 7K Advantage, you will save enough money to pay for this 7K Pro on a regular basis to keep you active and get you access to all these other great perks. Another deep dive 7K University, exclusive coin drops, and loyalty points where you get free bullion, free collectibles, and free jewelry if you choose. And you can also have that 7K Advantage with our Coin of the Month Club. I call it our auto saver program. These are gorgeous collectible coins that you can subscribe to on a regular basis, and you can get entire collections. It's super exciting. So both of these come with access to our 7K Advantage, as I mentioned to you, the 850,000 merchants. But let me just tell you, this has been a super successful component of this membership for so many of our members. We save the average family over $1,200 a year just from this one member benefit. So imagine taking $1,200 worth of expenses every year and being able to turn it into gold and silver. Pretty amazing. I can just tell you, the first transaction that we made in here, we saved enough money to pay for that legacy full-in membership. And you're also going to get the monthly ability to do Wealth Builder. This is where you can set it and forget it. You know, we do bills on autopilot. This is savings on autopilot, not just savings, but savings in gold and silver, where you can pick a dollar amount and you can save that every week or every month in gold and silver, and you have 4 asset classes to choose. As you can do it as little as $1 at a time. We have people with $1. We have people with 100. We have people with thousands that they pull out every week that go into these asset classes. It's up to you. And when you sign up now, you're going to get enrolled instantly in $40 worth of gold eagles. I'm sorry, $40 worth of silver eagles, rather, in this platform when you enroll. And you can turn that off if you want. But what that's going to do, it's going to allow you, you're going to have your instant gold pay that you got, your instant deposit when you signed up, and it's going to allow you to start collecting some also in silver. So I want you to look at that when you get in here and grab your membership. It will default to that. You can turn it off, add to it, make any changes to it. You have 100% control over that. And you know those really cool coins that Marianne shared with you in the beginning, the My Mint. I'm just going to play a short piece of this so you can see how simple it is. And Marianne and I actually got on the Zoom together. She created those 2 coins on a Monday, and she had them on a Thursday in her hand. I was super excited to see what she just shared with you, but that's great customer service. So you can do this. You talk about, I'm sorry, Marianne?
Canada.
Yeah, to Canada, right? Great point. So this is how simple it is. And you can choose on a base of copper, on a base of pure silver. So not only are you giving a gift of bullion, but you're giving an exclusive, special, unique gift. Think about that for Christmas gift giving. Watch this short clip. This was actually 5 years in the making. So pure copper, it starts at $39.95, or pure silver, $79.95. And you can upload any image you choose. And this is showing you how you can upload an image and enhance it with AI. We're only limited by your imagination. And this is exclusively AI. How fun is that? So you now have the ability coming up with this great gift giving season that we have to give the most unique gifts ever for stocking stuffers under the tree, something really special that someone would cherish a lifetime. Not only is it precious metal or copper, it is an exclusive coin that's never been done before because it's unique. It's something you can custom create in your own website. So this is so much more than gold and silver on our membership portal. We just have so many other benefits that we'd love to go over with you. But in the interest of being very efficient with our time, that's another video. But I want you to just know that you can do the basic or the legacy, get all the access that we've just shared with you. And one benefit that you have, you can share this with others and actually create an additional income. The 4 ways you get paid is the instant gold pay, the sound money matching metal bonus I share with you, the loyalty points, and there is a share plan as well. And we're now open in these 63 countries all around the world, and we'd love to get the word out to them if that feels like a great fit. And we also have a program where anyone can earn a 100-ounce silver bar. This is about a $4,500 value right now in precious metals. So we'd love to share more with you about that. So just so you know that 85% of the folks that hear this information, they don't even participate in the share plan like Marianne and I love doing. They just grab a membership for all the benefit. But I want you to know that on the average, our associates that get started with one left, one right make more money than it costs for the legacy membership. So that's what I wanted to share this morning with everybody. Marianne, it's so simple to get started. Marianne's going to drop her link in here if you want to grab a membership or you want to take a deeper look into how you can accelerate your wealth journey by just sharing it with folks around the world. We'd love to share that with you as well.
And if you do want to speak with me, that is also possible because some people just need more information. That's all. But thank you so much, Cathy, for coming out to help us with this and help get the good word out. What a great investment. I mean, this is way better than keeping your money in those institutions that we're not going to name. And
right.
I
effort of diplomacy.
work in one of those institutions, so I know what goes on in there. And believe me, I would rather have gold. Well, gold is like security, right? It's like it's like real estate is bricks and mortar. You have something tangible you can touch. Coins are something you can hold. You can take them. If you need to, you can exchange them for cash. It's not a problem.
Yes. Very liquid if you need it to, Marianne. That's what I love about it. Real estate is kind of hard to liquidate. This is liquid if you need to. That's what makes it so easy to as a store of value.
Liquidate it like that, like instantly, right? There's no waiting. This isn't, you need to take your coin. I mean, you can also keep your coins in a vault like I do. And I have a couple here at home to show, but you live alone. So I would prefer to have them in a vault. So you can't get at them. And if I need to sell them, they're sold instantly. They're not, I don't need to go to, I don't know, wherever and do anything, which is the way I like things. But
makes it super simple, doesn't it? Yes. Pleasure to be here, Marianne. Have a great day. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day. And this concludes our summit. So thank you, everyone. And thank you you can go, Cathy, because I know you have to go. So don't feel like you need to be polite. I know you have to go because you have a thing to go to. Thank you all so much for joining us. And I love authenticity. It's one of my favorite things. I am pretty authentic. I don't get irked by much, About the least authentic thing I do is probably just not to scare you. I put some makeup on and that's about it. Everything else is super real. Thank you all so much for joining us. This has been fantastic, and have yourself a beautiful weekend, everyone. Thank you. And please share this with anyone who you think might need it. Namaste.